Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. There ain't always gonna walk through the door. There just might be some strategy in this. Just having fun with our special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
And I'm Justin Ham. Hi. Couple things. I've finally found a flavor of Alani that I don't like. And it is called Hawaiian Shaved Ice. I judge it at the bottom of the list of Alanis. I think it's bad. It's mostly bad because it has coconut in it and you can taste the coconut. And I'm like, nope, not really super into this. That being said, I'll still drink the entire can. I'm drinking it right now under heavy duress. Luckily I only bought one can of it at a gas station because you never know.
Right.
So yeah,
You don't want to commit.
you don't want to commit. Like they're so far Alani is really good. There are definitely flavors where I'm like, that one's not as good as other ones are. I'm very high on cherry slush. Cherry slush, pretty good. I don't know what it is about it. I'm just like, this is the shit. It's great. But yeah, it's a whole thing. Oh, what was the other thing? I kind of already forgot it. That's good. So you know what? I guess just one thing. Unless I remember the other thing while Julian is talking. So Julian, is
Sure.
now your turn to talk.
Oh,
Go
thank
ahead.
you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome anytime.
Justin, the McRib is back in my neck of the woods.
Okay. I never get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It sounds disgusting.
I feel like I've talked to you about this
We
before.
have.
but I don't-
And
Okay.
I know we have, and I don't remember exactly what. I know you like it. I know you're high on it.
Well, this brings me to the dilemma that I have,
Mhm.
which is I don't really like the McRib all that much.
Okay.
But every time it comes around, I'm like a person with Alzheimer's who's like, oh, the McRib. And I
Right.
have to have one. And then I get it home and I consume said McRib. And I'm like, yeah, that was really not all that
Yeah.
great. And then I remember, oh, right, I really don't like the McRib all that much.
That's probably the hustle, you know. Although I think there are people that really do like the McRib.
I'm sure there are. One of the things that I always find fascinating about the McRib is that every one that I've ever had, when you open the box, it looks as if they Kobe'd it into the box from like across the kitchen.
Right.
Because it's always just like completely like slapdashed together and the sauce is just like all over
Right.
the inside of the box. Like in places where it doesn't seem like it should be.
Yeah.
Based on the configuration of the sandwich.
Well, here's the thing. They probably just throw it in the box and then it gets slid around and tossed about and then dropped in the bag because they don't really care.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But even beyond like that obvious, because then I would expect like, yeah, you're gonna get some sauce on like the sides
Sure.
of the box because that's where the meat is.
Right.
But the sandwich is always like just barely put together, and there's like sauce like on the top of the box, like the top of the inside of the box.
Oh,
and
you know what?
just like kind of everywhere.
I have a new theory, and anybody that worked at McDonald's during McRib time can correct us. My theory now is that I bet those sit in whatever sauce that it's in, and then they pull it out of like a thing with tongs, and then they probably just make it while it's in the box, and then it goes over on top of it.
Okay, that's actually a pretty good explanation.
That's my theory. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a better explanation than just like every person who's ever prepared a McRib for me was just doing it as like sloppily as possible.
I really hope that's the actual explanation because that's fun, but I bet it's just they pull it out with tongs and like it's in the sauce, which makes it somehow even worse to me and less appealing when I think about it.
It's just a bunch of like quasi pork slabs just like bathing in quasi barbecue sauce all day.
I felt the same. I feel the same way about most sauce things in saucy things in fast food restaurants because I like Wendy's had those like saucy nuggets for a cup of coffee.
Oh, those were dreadful.
They were terrible. Oh my god. Like and I'm
right there with you.
Oh my, that was an awful idea. Wendy's has like a history. Even when I worked there years and years ago, and I worked there for a good amount of time. I worked there during the transition phase, right? Because it was like the Dave Thomas. He's dead now, but we honor his legacy, and that's what we got going on. Everybody accepts it, and then like. I don't remember who bought who, but I think like Arby's or something like acquired Wendy's, or maybe it was the other way around. But at some point they started to try to get like really fancy, like they changed their fries and shit. And then like during that time, they started doing a lot of wild shit. Like they were throwing shit at the wall. Like I remember we would get like new stuff in it, and everybody like, what is this? They had at one point, it wasn't the saucy nuggets, but they were trying like chicken wings, like boneless chicken wings. That was weird.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. And the way you had to make those was you put them in like a little, plastic container, and then you dumped a bunch of sauce in, and then you shook it about, and that was how you did it. Everybody hated it because it was, a sloppy fucking mess. They also had ciabatta bread sandwiches.
That's what I was thinking of when you said they tried to get fancy. That was weird because you had to actually bake that bread. I mean, it was frozen bread, and I think it was frozen. Can't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure it was frozen, and like you had to bake it for a little bit, and then like they started like making like, oh, we got the Applewood bacon now. It's the fancy bacon where we used to just make the old Wendy's bacon in the microwave. Like I'll expose them. I don't give a fuck. What are they gonna do? Sue me? Don't sue me. I don't have any money. But they would make the old bacon in the microwave, and it was kind of like rubbery and fast foody. That was what it was. And then they were like, no, fancy, we must bake all this bacon. Yeah, put it in the oven now. There's a whole thing. There was other stuff too that I'm trying to think of. They did some weird shit. I remember those ciabatta sandwiches there was one in particular. It had like some kind of like roasted red pepper or something like that. And I remember, I remember that one.
Yeah, and I remember those came in cans. And I remember we opened up the can to it, and like there was like just a worm in it, and I was like, this is highly disturbing. But that's what you were dealing with when you started getting fancy. It was a fucking time, let me tell you.
Yeah. I mean, they've gotten like way too expensive by comparison to other fast food places that are also getting way too expensive. But
they all are, yeah.
But like, to me, like Wendy's still has like the best nuggets in the biz.
They're good.
Like,
I agree.
I'm a total slut for their chicken nuggets, and their burgers are really good too. But I think I don't go there very often anymore because like the last time that I went there to the drive-through, like they're doing like an AI thing for that. I'm just like, no, I don't like this.
No, it's not great. It's not great. That I think a lot of that stuff people are really gonna rebel against. Like even older people are like, what the fuck? Especially older people. Like it's kind of
what if they understand what's going on.
That's so they don't always understand it, but like a lot of the times they disclose it because it's like bad. So they're like, okay, it's we promise it's not a person behind here. It's a computer man. So be nice to the computer man. And then they're like, fuck that. like old people instantly are like, no, I want to yell at a person. What are we doing here? So yeah, there's that. Wendy's is weird.
Can't achieve release unless I'm yelling at a real person.
That's it exactly. Yeah, exactly that. I remembered what my other thing was, so this is great.
Oh, excellent.
I went to the
just as you planned.
Yeah, exactly. Just it's like I planned it. I went to the mall today, and we went in our mall's main entranceway, and I was looking around. There was a new store. It's called the Perfume Hut that just keeps making me laugh for some reason. Because Kim wants nothing to do with the Perfume Hut. She doesn't know why it exists, and I keep just softly.
Is it a store and not a kiosk?
It's not a kiosk, Julian. It's a store.
Okay,
called
no,
the Perfume Hut. I just keep
a dumb name.
Just keep going, but Kim, it's a hut of perfume. Why wouldn't we want to go to that? That sounds good. Sounds like a smelly hut. It's a good thing we have this smelly hut. But I looked to my left as I walked in, where the old Scotto's Pizza used to be, which I believe later became a Sbarro and all that shit down the road. But it used to be Scotto's Pizza way back when. And I looked in that little area, and lo and behold, Julian, guess what my mall has finally gotten into their midst? We now have mall Chinese food. And I was so fucking excited for that. I didn't eat there, but I kept it in mind.
Okay. This story instantly lost all of its gas.
What do you mean?
You should have gone to eat the mall Chinese food.
But we already had a dinner plan, so I didn't want to ruin that. I apologize.
Gotcha.
So I didn't want to ruin that. So that's why. But I was like, we have to eat there sometime. We have to. It's a thing. We have to do it. And then I was like, when did we get that? Is that like brand new? And then to Kim telling me like, no, it's been there like a few years now. I've eaten there a few times. It's fine. And I was like, perfect. That's exactly what it should be. Just fine. That's exactly what I want. She didn't really understand, but that's fine.
It's like my shitty Thai food
exactly.
at my mall.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just the right type of shitty. Yeah. That it's like just hits the spot sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. When you don't want the greatest quality of Chinese food, go to the mall. It's perfect.
Honestly, it's pretty hard to find like what I would call like quality Chinese food. I don't really know if I've ever actually had it.
Mm-hmm.
I think most Chinese food that I've had is fine to, I mean, so there's two places,
right,
and they were both buffets. In San Antonio, there was a place called Golden Phoenix.
Sure.
That used to be worth the hour drive from Austin to San Antonio to go there. And then here I've talked about Buffet Palace in Austin, which I still really love. Right. But most of the time it's just like, this is, I mean, it scratches the itch, but it's not, I don't know if I've ever had like really like high quality Chinese food.
I don't know if I have either. We have one place that I really like around here, but we don't ever get food there. Why? Because it made Kim sick one time, so we just don't go there. I was like, all right, well, that's fair. But yeah, so I'm excited about mall Chinese food. I'm
excited for you.
Yeah, we also stopped at the pretzel place. Because Kim wanted a pretzel, and I happened.
Was it Auntie Anne's?
What's that?
Was it Auntie
Anne's? Yeah.
Oh man, that there was when I worked we had a Pokemon kiosk at one of the malls around like 99. No, right around 2000. And I was working that for a while, and it was downwind of the Auntie Anne's. And there was something about one of the things that they were making at that place that really did not appeal to my nostrils, and to this day, like when I hear the name, I'm just like, oh.
Would it happen to have been the fact that they make pretzel dogs, and mini pretzel dogs?
I don't think so. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't think they made anything like that.
That's fair. That's very possible, but they do now, and I had to know, so I ordered the pretzel dogs, the mini ones, the mini pretzel dogs, and ate them as I walked through a bookstore, which was somehow blasphemous, but I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it feels very disrespectful.
It really did. It was not my idea, but I was like, we're here, we're doing it, whatever. What are they gonna do? And turns out nothing. So, but I will say this: they tasted cheap, but satisfying enough. That's my assessment of Auntie Anne's pretzel dogs.
It's like a date with Julian Titus.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, it's the whole thing. Oh, now we get the dog barks that are deep and loud. That's fun.
Yeah, that's a different type of sound than I'm used to.
It's a very aggressive dog bark.
Yes,
we have Kim has a dog that you have to put up a sign to warn people about, because like inside they're terrified of things, but outside they will eat your dog. So she has to put up a sign just to make sure that people at least keep their dog away so that it is not eaten by this dog.
Right.
Abel's a good boy. I like Abel.
It's funny because like you've been there for a while, and this is the first I've heard the dog.
It's usually random when he does it. Like it's not like my little dogs where when they do it, you're just like, okay, all right, great, but like when he does it, you're just like, oh, holy shit! That like I fear for my life for a second. It's a different vibe. But ultimately, he's a good boy. He does his job. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Just going back to the mall Chinese.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Sorry.
So when I started working at Game Fellows, that mall did not have a food court. And there was only a handful of places that you could eat. There was the corn dog place. Mm-hmm. There was Chick-fil-A.
Was it a hot dog on a stick?
I don't think it was hot dog on a stick.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of it.
Curious.
Yeah. There was this place. Was it Olga's? Olga's Kitchen.
Oh boy.
Which was like a sit down restaurant that me and my mom used to love to go to.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was really good. And then Montgomery Ward's.
Huh.
If anybody remembers Montgomery Ward's. They had like a little cafe inside there that me and my mom also liked to go to. Right. And we would go on like mall, like we would like go to the mall and then like eat and then go to a movie. That was like one of our favorite like things to do on school days off, like those like one-off days where it was like staff development or whatever. But the other place it was Sidewalk, right? WOK. And it was like a locally owned, like it wasn't a chain. It was just like a family that got a place in the mall. And I'll never forget when I started at Game Fellas and Danny Morgan, like my first day, he was like when it was getting close to my lunch break, he was like, "Listen, there's only one good place here to eat.
Yeah,
Sidewalk, but you only get the teriyaki chicken."
That sounds right.
Okay. And I went there, and sure enough, it was like some delicious ass teriyaki chicken. I bet it was. Now, I ended up really enjoying the whole menu at Sidewalk.
Sure, yeah.
But that was the place, and even when they opened like the full-on food court and Sidewalk moved into the food court,
right,
that was still the place,
right.
And it's funny that you brought this up because I was at Buffet Palace with friend of the show John Golson not that long ago, and I got my plate and I sat down and he was eating and I was like, man, if I could go back in time, one of the things that I wish that I could do is go back to Sidewalk at Barton, and get some teriyaki chicken. He just like stopped and he looked at me and was like, dude, yes.
yeah. I get it.
It was so fucking good,
Oh,
Justin.
I believe it,
And
man. I believe it.
I remember going to that mall like years after I no longer worked at the mall. And I was just like shopping one day, and I decided to like get some lunch at Sidewalk, and the owner's daughter was there, and she remembered me.
Wow.
And she loaded my plate up.
Oh,
it was
that's
like
nice.
double portions of everything. And I was just like, oh man, that was
That's
nice.
good.
And they're no longer there.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like, it guts me. I was just like, oh man, that teriyaki chicken.
Yeah.
I have never tasted better teriyaki
I believe
chicken
it.
than at Sidewalk.
I believe it.
at
I
Barton
believe
Creek
it.
Mall.
I believe it. Our mall has gone through weird phases. We've never had like a full on food court ever. They never had like tables that you could sit in that I remember. There was little like a lot of the restaurant places that were there had like seating, like the Scotto's Pizza. You could go in, you could sit in there. We had a Baskin Robbins. Weirdly enough.
Yeah, pretty standard.
Yeah. And I remember buying an ice cream cake there when I was a kid. That's my memory of fucking Baskin Robbins. But I always would, I always went there and got mint and chocolate chip ice cream because I demanded it. It was right next to a bookstore that I can't remember, and Lonnie can't remember what it was either, but we both remember what we bought from that bookstore because we're insane people.
Was it B. Dalton or Walden
It
Books?
might have been B. Dalton. Might have been. It had a lot of magazines.
I mean, that was all of them.
I mean, but this one specifically had a lot of magazines. Like, it was like, that was like kind of their thing. But they also had books, but it was mostly, but comics, like during the comics boom, like they had a lot of comics in that.
That sounds like a B. Dalton.
I think it was.
Yeah. Because B. Dalton, my memory of it was like the first, like probably half of like one wall was just like magazines from like the entrance to like the halfway point.
Right. Yes, that sounds right. Yeah, because Walden Books, I know exactly where that was, and now it's a Victoria's Secret. That's just what happened to it. But I used to go into Walden Books, and they had mostly books, and I would look at the video game strategy guides for games that I didn't have, but that was just what I did to entertain myself while people shopped. What else did we have? We had, God, I don't think it was that much. I think we might have had like a version of an Orange Julius. I don't think it was an actual Orange Julius type place though. Like, I remember the little weird slushy machine thing that they had out front of it. Like, it was one of those. What it was, though, I don't remember. We had the pretzel place. It was Hot Sam's back then. It wasn't Auntie Anne's. And that really was it. We had a couple sit-in restaurants, but that was later on down the line. We had two. There was a Ruby Tuesdays, which is not bad. And we had... was it old? It was Old Country Buffet, which was a chain, and some people are very high and miss Old Country Buffet, or maybe it's home. I think I'm pretty sure it's Old Country Buffet.
Is it not that one from South? It's not that one from South Park. Is it what was it? Country Kitchen Buffet or something like that?
No, I think this was Old Country Buffet. I think.
Okay.
Oh boy, I'll have to ask an adult. They'll remember. But I always thought the place was terrible. There was Ponderosa, but that was in the Walmart Plaza.
Man,
that we didn't have that.
Holy
in the mall.
Shit,
yeah.
that name takes me back.
Yeah, Ponderosa. Yeah, that wasn't in the mall. That was in like the Walmart Plaza. You had to drive a little bit down the road to get to that. I always hated Ponderosa too. I was people loved Ponderosa, and I'm like, I think it was awful, but that's just me. But yeah, our mall is weird, and now it's like half the mall. They like cut part of it off because fuck that part of the mall. It's just like,
I mean, that's a lot of malls these days.
But I'll give it this, that for a place that I went in, I'm going to say, God, it would have been like 2018, like 7, 8 years ago, probably, with my grandmother. and she had to go to the 2 stores that were still open in the mall. Like there was seriously like there was a Penny's, an Elder Beerman, which was closing, TJ Maxx, and then 2 shoe stores for some reason, and the Hot Topic, because Hot Topic is forever. But like that was it. Like there was fucking nothing in there. It was just dying. Like it was just empty stores like for a while, and then you'd see like one random store and you'd be like, oh, there's a shoe store. And then you'd walk a little while and it'd be like, there's another shoe store. That's weird that there's 2, like, and they're right across from each other, but sure. Whatever. That, yeah. And that now I'm walking through and I'm like, no, there's actually stuff. It's weird. It's weird. Our mall's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oddly
They're
enough,
trying.
the one that I was talking about, it's still going pretty strong. Like I'd say the last time I was there, it was probably like a good like 90-95% occupancy as far as like the storefronts and everything, but it's gone like so like high scale.
Right.
Because like, you know, we just have so many people that have come in from like the tech sector and stuff like that over the last like 10 years that Austin is like just like a very like hoity-toity place now, and it's like it's not the type of mall that you feel that you could just like hang out at. Right. It's like a place that you're going there to shop at specific stores for specific things these days.
Ours is like that too, but the only thing I keep meaning to do one of these days, and I will. We have I think it's called a Tilt. We have a Tilt arcade now.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they just are using the name or something, but like it's not like it used to be. Like there's not a lot of old games in there, but we walked through it because I had to know, and like it's kind of Dave and Buster's-y, but like there's but there's like there's a lot of decent amount of light gun games and stuff like that, and like they have the driving stuff, and I was like, okay, they got something here. Like it doesn't look too bad. There's a big miniature, like a little putt thing. Like they actually like built like this neon light putt thing. I was like, that's kind of okay. I don't know. I'm curious about it. So one of these days I have to go. I'm fascinated by there's like this weird arcade horse racing game that I'm fascinated by because it looks terrible, but I have to know. I'm gonna ride a horse, and there's also one game with like cars. I mean, it's a car game. It's an IndyCar game, I think, and like they advise if you step on a step that's in front of it, the machine will turn off apparently because it's dangerous for you to do that. So it's a whole thing. So I'm fascinated by that too. One of these days, I have to go check out that arcade. At least play some light-gun games. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the taste of rail break out of your mouth.
Right? Yeah. Seriously.
Which is an awesome segue, because I wanted to mention that our most recent Suffer Select episode for patrons is out, which was Rail Break, a homage, I guess, to classic light gun
really
shooters.
Pushing it, but yeah. I
think they think it's an homage. I personally think it's an insult, but and then also, since we are getting to the end of the season, end of our second season, not really time to do our normal poll scenario, so we're each getting to choose a Suffer Select game. I'll let Justin go first. So next month, Justin, do you want to let the listeners know what
we're
going to
play? Rich Man 10. I first said Rich Man 11, then Julian said, but you played that one. We should play 10. And I was like, that's a great idea, actually. We should play 10. Then neither of us will know what the fuck's going on. And that's the magic.
Yeah. Nobody wins.
Nobody wins. We probably won't, and we probably will never figure out what's actually going on in that game. And that's what's fascinating about it. So yes. Rich Man 10 time. We're going to do it.
We are.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go first, Justin, because I've got a little bit more to talk about than you do.
Absolutely.
Not that I've got a lot myself, but real quick, I finished Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2
Yeah.
since the last time we recorded.
Yeah.
I was actually like, I mean, I was pretty close to the end by the
I knew
time
right where you
we
were. There was
Yeah.
one big thing, man. Julian before the podcast told me where he was, and he told me something that happened and how and I was like, oh, I gotta shut the fuck up right now.
It was pretty great.
Yeah.
That game.
Yeah.
That game goes in some directions that I was not expecting it to go.
Yeah, me neither.
And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you got me.
Yeah.
That's
I
some
said
good
the same
shit.
thing. Yep. Said the same thing.
So I am in complete 100% agreement with you that the ending is a letdown, and I've had almost a week to stew on it now. And I've come to the conclusion that it was enough of a letdown to disqualify it from getting, because I was like, oh, this could be my game of the year. And then I was like, oh, that actually really puts a kibosh on it.
If you remember correctly, when I got to the ending, you were like, you seem way more down on it. I was like, I'm not. I liked it, but like, yeah, a little bit. I am, because that was really kind of a bummer. I don't know what it is about that ending. That's just...
Oh, I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a whodunit where the person who done it gets taken care of off camera.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That is not a satisfying conclusion to a mystery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just not.
No.
You want to have that confrontation, and especially in a game that has decisions and like dialogue choices and stuff like that. You want to have that verbal showdown,
yeah, you
before
never
you decide
to.
Ultimately how you want to deal with that.
All I really wanted for that ending was just one more conversation with like one kind of meeting, you know, or something to where everybody gets together and are like, okay, what do we do here? And like, even if your decisions are like, yeah, look, we're not going to listen to you about that because of the X, Y, and Z. I'd be like, that's cool. I get that. You know, like that would make sense. But like, they don't do that. They just kind of go, this is what happened. And you're like, oh, is it? Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm fine with the type of Fallout ending where it's like, okay, here's how your decisions impacted this world.
Yeah, that's fine.
But this game needed both. This game needed the final like meeting.
Right.
And then go into, okay, now this is what happened after because of what you did, right?
It's asking you to navigate all these vampire politics, and that shit's really interesting and cool, and then it kind of just doesn't really pay off, you know, like the way you want it to. It feels really disappointing.
Well, and then I had like a very clear plan for how I wanted my fire to end up by the end of the game. And then there were things out of my control that prevented that.
Right.
And had I known that going like I would have made a couple different decisions because what ended up like being basically who ended up in charge, I was like, that's not what I wanted. Yeah. But you know, there wasn't really a way for me to know that, obviously. Like if I play it another time, which I very well might,
right.
I'll definitely do a couple different things, but I loved the game. I think it's a really great,
I really liked it
flawed
too.
gem.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. One thing that even soured me even more on that ending is when I looked up how to get some of the different ones, and some of them hinge on like one single like innocuous choice every now and then. There's one particular one that I was like, oh, you have to say this one very specific thing for this ending to happen, and it's like during kind of like a conversation with Fabian, like in your head, and if you don't say it, like it doesn't I was like, that's kind of weird, but all right, like whatever. There's some interesting choices that they made that I was kind of like, I don't know, but yeah.
And then just a couple last comments on the combat system, because I still ultimately really enjoyed the combat, but I forgot to mention last time, and it actually played into the final boss fight, which the final boss fight is fucking bullshit.
Oh, it is.
But they introduced an enemy that, and this is just, to me, this is just a balancing thing.
Yes.
It's an enemy that they hit hard, they take a lot of damage, they swarm you, and you can't feed on them.
Yeah. So you can't get health back.
You can't have an enemy that does all of those things.
It's a little too much. That was the exact, when they showed up was the exact moment I went, I'm turning this difficulty down. This is bullshit.
I get it. Yeah.
I was just like that. I got really frustrated, especially there's one like particularly when they first show up that like everything really pops off crazy. And I know exactly what they're going for. Cause like there's guys that you can feed on in the middle of it too, but they also have guns. And I'm like, this is just way too much. And I turned the difficulty down right then and there. I was like, I'm just going to breeze through the rest of this. Fuck that.
And even by the lore of what those enemies are, they feel like something that you should be able to swat in 1 or 2 hits.
Yeah.
But because there's so many of them, that's the danger.
Yeah.
And that you can't feed off of them. But it's way too much. Because the best way to deal with them is to kind of parry their strikes, but because of the way they swarm, you'll parry one strike and then get hit by another one from a different guy.
Pretty much.
And it's like, oh, okay, this is some full bullshit,
yeah,
man.
You'll have that. Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, you know, I've been paying a close attention to Clancy Burns' meetings here at the studio.
Okay, excellent.
And I've made liberal use of all of my items in Bloodlines 2.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to do it. I also wish I remember wishing this during that playthrough. I know they don't do much with like money or anything, but I wish there was a way to just somebody I could go to be like, hey, I need some of these actually. Like, do you mind?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize until way too late that Nico at the pawn shop would give you one of the elixirs after completing one of his side quests.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just puts it on the counter and you have to pick it up yourself.
Oh.
And I was like, man, how many of these have I missed out on at this point?
I'm pretty sure I missed out on every single one of them now that you mention it. Oops. Well.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. Okay.
But no, I think it's a really excellently written story.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
think it's got some great characters. It's got some great voice acting.
Yeah.
I really love the combat. Again, it's shallow for what it is.
Yeah.
Like even as someone who did not play the previous game, I can see that.
Right.
And so I can only imagine anybody who did play the first game coming into this one being extremely
really
disappointed. I totally get that.
Yeah, me too.
When you get past like, you know, the rough edges, it's just a brilliant little game. I'm so glad that I took a chance on it.
I really think it would have benefited both benefits and hurts it, right? Because like you're not going to sell as much without the Bloodlines name on it, right? But at the same time, like it probably shouldn't have been a Bloodlines game. Like they should have, you know, maybe just made it in the universe. Obviously it's Vampire the Masquerade, but like just maybe
they shouldn't have called it. Yeah,
you know,
Bloodlines. Calling
2.
it Bloodlines 2
sets you up for a real disappointing time with your hardcore base. You know,
yeah. And part of that isn't their fault, right?
No.
Like because this game did,
I know,
basically get canceled and then had to be restarted.
It's fascinating.
So
the entire development of the game is fascinating. So the fact that what they got is kind of a really phenomenal job, really. If you really stop and think about it,
to me, it's a solid, like, well, like personally, if I was scoring it, this is like a good 8.5 out of 10. But like just the quality of the game, like I totally get why it's a 7 out of 10 from most outlets. But the fact that like what it went through, like that almost adds an extra point to me because it's like this thing by all measures should have been just a train wreck. Like it should have been like nigh unplayable based on its history.
Like it's developed by who? The Chinese Room is the guy that's
they're the ones who came and finished it off.
But like they're not. Their games notably are like walking simulators mostly.
Because they're the ones who did like the Amnesia.
Everybody goes
like
to the Rapture.
Or something like that.
Everybody goes to the Rapture. Dear Esther, I think, was one of theirs.
Oh, is that them too? Okay, yeah.
So yeah, like these really like emotional walking simulators, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we got to tackle combat now. It's like, all right, hey, they did their best. I give them that.
And I think
they really did.
The combat's just missing like a couple things to make it
Yeah,
great.
I agree. If they made another one, I feel like they'd nail it. Like they're
me
onto
too.
something. It just needs, you know, some tweaking and stuff. It needs a Cyberpunk 2.0 type upgrade to really make it shine or something.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, this thing got announced a while ago, but I think that if it was happening now, I think what would have happened is what we agreed should have happened, which is, yo, we're going to remake Bloodlines 1.
Yeah.
Because we've already got the framework for that, and then we can get a feel for what we want to modernize, what we want to improve, and also just kind of wrap our heads around what this game was.
Right.
And then build off of that into a sequel from that experience.
Yeah, that's probably what they should have done. But we got what we got, and it's a fascinating video game, and by all means, pretty decent. Honestly, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I again, it's I had a real heart to heart about myself, like, oh, this might be number one, and then I was like, oh,
it's not quite.
After finishing it, I just can't quite go that far.
Man, I just, that final boss fight was miserable. Even on easy, it was miserable. I was just like, oh, what were you thinking with this? Oh man, but yeah,
thank goodness that I had Shadow Step.
Yeah, I thought about
basically,
that. Yeah,
what I ended up doing was Shadow Step and then immediately go into Asura's Fist, which is that one that paints them with about 15 targets, because it pauses while it's doing that. Okay. And so that would keep, because this character teleports, but I could do it fast enough that they couldn't teleport away after I had teleported. And so it was kind of like a slow motion Dragon Ball Z fight.
No, all right, that sounds okay. I kept knocking them down into places where I couldn't get to them at all, or at least in time, and then they just zap away. I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so fucking irritated by this entire experience. Oh man,
I did make liberal use of the propane tanks around, because you can just TK those at them, and that does a lot of damage.
I know it does, and I was doing the same thing, but I would get to the point where all I had to do was get to them and feed on them, but they would recover just fast enough, just as soon as I would get there, and I'd be like, this sucks. Oh man, yeah.
I guess I'll just go in order.
Keep going, man.
So then I purchased and played all the way through Dispatch.
All right.
I was gonna try to intersperse it with Black Ops 7, but then as I was playing more of Dispatch, I was like, no, I think I just want to go all the way through this.
It should be a binge game. I didn't like the episode thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, obviously, I played it after everything was available, but I don't think that it gained anything by being released episodically.
No.
You can still divvy them up into episodes in just a full game, because that's what Alan Wake does, right? But I don't know. There is something. Yeah, I don't really understand what the strategy was for that.
Weird, it's a flow game too. It's okay, here's the next shift, and it's a little bit tougher or whatever. They're always adding little quirks and blips and bloops here and there on that stuff. Even the hacking mini games and stuff have an escalation to them. But if the way I played the game, which was weekly, I would get to those parts and be like, oh shit, I can't even. I have to think of how to do this again. Fuck. And I would have those moments. It was weird. So yeah, I didn't really think that was great.
And some of them have these powers that activate under certain criteria.
Right.
So for me, one of the things was Malevola, the demon girl.
Right.
She has one ability where she will heal an injured hero if they're in the same squad with her. So I would make sure, like, if I had someone injured, I'd be like, okay, I'm just going to pair them up with her to fix that. But if I'm like spending like a week or 2 weeks between, I'm not going to
Julian,
remember
I couldn't
that
remember
detail.
how to trigger any of the fucking powers ever. So like they would just randomly happen, and I'd be like, oh, right, cool, great, I did a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did, but cool. It was a bit of a thing.
So I like that game a fair bit. I don't like it nearly as much as the rest of the internet.
Sure.
I'm sure to start on this one.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of the internet's seems very high on it.
It's very high on it. Let me start with my rant.
Okay. Go ahead.
Which is that as I was playing this game, I decided upon a hierarchy of voice acting. So to me, the high like the tippy top of voice acting is professional voice actor. This is what they do for a job exclusively.
Sure.
And they've honed their craft. That's like the best that you can get for voiceover. Right. And then below that, I would say stage actor.
Sure.
Right? Like someone who does theater and stuff like that. Sure. Because they're used to projecting at like various levels and intensity, and there's a certain gravitas to those performances. They tend to be a little bit bigger, which you kind of usually want for a voice acting thing. And my reason for that is like Simon Templeman, who plays Kane from Legacy of Kain, and Tony Jay, who was also in that series and other games.
There's been a lot of crossover between there. I think it didn't. Neil Newbon, wasn't that like his thing before he got into the voice acting stuff? Like he seems like a stage actor guy. I don't know.
He seems like a stage actor. I'm not sure, but that wouldn't surprise me at all.
But he just has that presence, right? Like I look at him and I'm just like, this guy looks like he's been on stage plenty of times,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then below that, I would say is screen actor.
Sure.
So, movie, TV. It's not what I'd like to see in like a
hit and miss
voice acting capacity, but I understand why you hire them for like the name or whatever, the recognition. It's fine. Then after that, I would put specifically VTuber.
Okay, yeah.
Not all VTubers, mind you, but I do think that because VTubing is so closely related to anime and they're so into anime that your average VTuber can probably do a decent approximation of, anime dubbing quality voice over.
Sure.
And some are going to be better at it than others. And, it's still, again, now we're getting into like where I'm like, I don't know if I want this person working on a game or an animated series or a movie, right? As VO. Then after that, I think you have Z tier celebrities and influencers.
Sure, yeah.
Right. So like you've got like your reality stars or your sports figures or internet personalities. And I was fucking stunned to see that this game, which has critical role involved with it, which is all voice actor people, right? That it had fucking Moist Critical, Jacksepticeye, and Alana Pierce, like doing voice acting. I like Alana Pierce a lot. Yeah. I think she's a great writer. I think she's a great like personality on YouTube. Yeah. I think she's a bad voice actress.
Yeah, to be fair, she had a pretty small role overall.
It was.
So
it wasn't as egregious as Moist Critical, who took me out of the game every time that he opened his goddamn mouth.
Which character was he?
Sonar.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Who I ejected from the team the second that I got the option.
That's interesting. I did the opposite actually, because I needed an intellect guy, so I kept him. Yeah. I didn't know that's who was voice acting them. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't like that dude. I just don't. And then Jacksepticeye, like, at least he gets by on the fact that like the character was like an Irish stereotype, so he was kind of just like that, and it's just kind of what Jacksepticeye kind of does anyway. So, but it was still just like, man, you could have gotten like some real voice actors for these roles, and the game would have been like much better off for it. Everybody else, I think, is stellar, right? And I guess that kind of leads into probably the most controversial take that I have, which is that I didn't like the core cast.
Yeah, that's
all of my
controversial.
favorite characters
Yeah,
are like the support characters, right? So
sure.
it was Chase and Royd and
Chase and Royd are great. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I mean, Waterboy, who he ended up being like a core member of my.
Did you, man? I
game.
feel like we did exactly the opposite of every decision because I had Phenomenon. I drafted him, and he was great. I actually really like Phenomenon as a character. He was super funny to me, and just actually a great idea.
I liked him a lot, but I didn't interact with him as much as you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really much care for like the team for the most part. And the funny thing too is that like, and this game was better about it than the Telltale Batman games. Sure. Because I had like no interest in romancing either of the two choices in the game at all.
Interesting. And
the game was like, it didn't really seem to know what to do with that because like they're both like coming on so strong, like whoa, I just met you, pump the brakes.
Sure.
And at a certain point I had to make a choice. Like there's a very clear, it's like you can go out with this person or go out with this person, even though neither of them are an actual date,
right? But
you can tell that this is going to progress the thing. I'm like, well, I can't stand this one, so I guess I'll go have dinner with Blonde Blazer. And then after that, when she was like, hey, about last night, I'm like, yeah, let's just keep it professional. Like we work together, blah, blah, blah. And then she like walks away, she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's literally, I think, the game the whole time. Cause like, you get the stats after every episode. And when I beat the game, it was like you and 11% of other people like didn't romance anyone.
Yeah. The other like 80%, including myself, were all about Invisigal. So
were they, Justin?
Yep.
Because
oh yeah.
Well, on my stats it said you and 99% of other players basically said "fuck you, Invisigal."
At which point?
I don't know.
At which point?
At the end.
At the end?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't have that at all. Yeah, I think my stats were a lot different than yours maybe, but then again I don't remember exactly what they were.
But the stats are like based on like global, right?
Sure,
so
yeah.
like that's why I was kind of surprised.
It was like so heavily weighted toward Invisigal when I played it.
Yeah.
Like it was wild.
Well, things must have shifted by the time I got around to it.
Yeah, I was
kind of surprised after talking to you.
But then again, you did certain things differently, so a lot of your stats might be completely different from mine. Just because like I don't know how certain things play out when like because I kicked a different member off the team that affects certain things. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like it might be worth playing it again to
I keep
see
intending
some
to
different outcomes. Yeah, I do really like the main character. Like I thought he was great.
Yeah, Robert Robertson is really good. I agree.
Yeah, I do think that if you are a person out there who has complained ever about the jokey tone of the MCU and like that whole thing, and then turn around and say Dispatch is like so funny and just like really great writing or whatever, it's like this is that times like 100 to me.
Yeah, it is.
Because one of the big complaints that I hear about MCU is that like, oh well, nothing they don't give time to like serious places. Like there's always has to be a joke, and this game is that to the point where
constant jokes. Like it's yeah.
And there was actually a part where it's like, oh, this is kind of a serious conversation between these two people, and I was expecting a fart. I was literally expecting a fart or something of that nature.
Right, yeah.
And when it didn't come, I was like, oh, they showed some actual restraint for once. I'm kind of surprised because that's not really this game's forte. No. And it's fine. I'm not saying that it wasn't funny or anything like that. I'm just saying that like this to me is the epitome of what people claim to not like in recent MCU movies.
I can agree with that, but I can also acknowledge that I think it can get away with it a little more because of the overall silliness of the universe itself. Not saying that Marvel isn't silly, but like this is just made to be like a comedy about superheroes. Does that make sense?
Right.
With some obviously, you know, sometimes serious elements to it. But like, they've set themselves up to be more of a comedy, whereas like Marvel is a little bit different. So I guess I can see where the difference would lie in people's brains, you know?
Yeah, I can see that as well. I wanted to like the actual Dispatch game more than I did because I really liked it in the demo.
Yeah.
But and I think the game can't decide what it wants to be ultimately. And I think if they do a sequel, that's what they need to figure out, because a lot of the stuff that happens in the dispatching part is kind of at the whim, because they're still trying to tell a story during those sections where it's like, okay, so I kind of can't succeed here because you have in the story decided that things are out of my control.
You can't pass this. Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels bad.
It does.
Because it feels like I should be able to do better. I
wholeheartedly agree with that. Yeah. There was bits even more like that kind of, and this played into the episodic thing where it was like, hey, sometimes you just can't pass these. And I was like, what are the factors that are triggering that then so I can avoid that happening? And it was just like, no, you just can't sometimes. I'm like, oh, what? All right. Fuck. Yeah. I guess I just will go fuck myself. And it doesn't really tell you. And then sometimes you'll waste like resources thinking you can pass it. And you're like, oh, I wish I would have just sent like just some one random dude that I wish I would have sent the Irishman out for this one because I almost never used him for anything. Because he was my spokesman. Yeah. No, but mine was the Pop Idol. I sent her to all that stuff. She was great for it, but like that I sent him on the coffee run at one point. That was funny.
Oh, I think he's the one that I sent on the coffee run too.
Yeah, I did like his like. What the fuck, Robert?
Yeah, and I think that's like, because the way it is right now, I actually would have preferred it to just be a 100% cutscene with decisions type game where it's just like, oh, who do you want to send for this call? And then it's like you have a choice of like between this hero or this hero, right? And that's about as deep as it gets. If they do another one, I either want them to go that route or figure out a way to flesh out the dispatching
I think
part
they just
to
need
make
to flesh it out more and kind of. Yeah, that was a bit of a thing, just the fleshing out of it. Like I said, it feels bad to fail in that game, and those hacking mini games sometimes are just nightmarish to me. Yeah. Well,
I was just gonna say, that whoever came up with the hacking mini game, so especially in this economy and everything, I don't want to say anything like really extreme. I just hope that every time that they order food, it's a little bit too cold.
Yeah.
For the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Because fuck that hack. I got to the point, Justin, where I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so when I would have to do a hacking thing, I would just put the controller down.
Yeah. No,
and just fail it.
I mean,
I didn't want to do it.
I turned off the like timer and that stuff, and that made it a little bit more tolerable. It was funny because at first I was like, okay, that's not the greatest thing, but it's fine. It's simple. Not too bad. And then as they escalated, I was just like, oh, these are really fucking annoying. And like, especially toward the end, like they got really stupid hard, especially the fucking frequency ones. Just whoever thought of that one in particular, I was like, oh man, those were miserable. Yes. That was bad. Those ones really turned me off. And I got to, that's what made me ultimately turn the timer off. I was just like, I can't, I don't know what they want from me here. It's not clear enough. It's just bad. It feels bad. And then like at the end, they have a bit where it's like, you're trying to find your heroes, 'cause you only have like a little bit of a squad. And I was like, that's kind of a neat idea, but I have to pass this hacking mini game, and then I would fail it, and it's like, well, that guy just doesn't come on your team now. I'm like, well, I guess I'm just fucked, right? So
Yeah.
I
Again, feels very bad.
yeah, and then like so I'd be like, okay, well, I guess I'll start this over, and then it would make me watch a cutscene again. I was like, I can't believe there's nothing to skip the cutscenes. That's insane to me, especially if I watched it already.
Right.
That was a little nuts, but whatever. That was, those hacking mini games were. I don't even know how you would make that fun in a future thing. I would just axe them. Just just
get rid of it.
Yeah, just really get rid of it.
Or just copy a better hacking mini game from a different video game. Like, yeah.
That's, they were bad.
So, I did really like it quite a bit. It's absolutely my favorite one of these types of games that's coming from like ex-Telltale people. And I haven't played a ton of them. I played most of The Walking Dead season 1. I didn't finish it because it was a broken piece of shit, and I couldn't actually progress, I think, past the 3rd episode. On my, like, there was some sort of glitch that I was like, I'm not replaying all of this.
I don't blame you.
I refuse. I played the 2 Batman ones. I played Game of Thrones. I think that's probably about it. This is far and away light years above any of those that I played. I liked it in the end. I really did. Me too. I do want to see, like, I would like to see them do more. And
I do too.
This thing did pretty well.
It did.
So I think
it did way better than I honestly thought it would when I seen it come out. I was like, this is going to be like a thing that like a few people get behind, but like, no, it had legs. Like, I'm really impressed that it did. So good for them. I
also think it's a gorgeous looking game. The
animation
and
art
stuff, and animation is fantastic.
Really great. I very much agree. Very much agree.
Also surprising, like, how, because it's set in very much like our world. Like, the references are kind of surprising. Like, they reference like actual movies and shows by name. You know, Robert loves Hostess Twinkies, like they're branded and everything. I was like, that's kind of surprising to me. You don't usually see that, especially in like superhero parody type stuff. But I was like, oh, but I like that it kind of grounded the world a little bit more.
I think so who was your favorite like hero of the little like squad, the Z team, if I may ask, if you had one?
Did I have one?
Yeah, I know who mine was.
That's a good fucking question.
I forgot his name, but mine I forget everybody's name. Mine was the Clayman. He was great.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty fun. He was good.
Yeah, of the team, it might have been Waterboy, actually.
Waterboy's fun. Yeah. I didn't get him till the end, and next time I play, I would actually like to see what happens with him.
Yeah, he's got a because I even turned him into something pretty special, which was nice, because he starts out with like
he starts really
terrible
really
stats.
Low. I could tell because they give him to me in the final mission, and I was like, oh, I see what his bit is. Yes, he starts out bad, but like he has crazy level gain abilities, so there's something going on there. I get.
Yeah. And one of his powers that he unlocks is that it gives him a +3 to his highest stat.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
So he ended up being like a pretty successful hero of mine, but also I just really liked like his general vibe. And I felt like he was like the only like good dude of the crew.
Oh yeah.
But my favorite character was Royd
Royd's great. Yeah, Royd and Chaser, you're dead on. Royd and Chaser are like the best characters. They're great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the best character objectively is Beef.
I mean, that goes without saying, but yeah.
I would like a plush Beef.
I wouldn't mind that myself. That'd be pretty good. That absolutely would.
But no, Royd was incredible. I want to see more Pacific Islander representation in everything. But like, I love the way he talked. I loved his character. I loved the way that you think he's one thing and then he's very much a different thing, which is always great. I'm always a big fan of that. So yeah, I really do hope that we get to see a sequel, and I hope it's not something that we have to wait like 5 years for.
I hope so. I think there's plenty that you could do in that universe, and I hope that they do another Dispatch type thing, like with that concept, that they flesh it out a little bit more, and like you said, I think if you made it the other thing that you said, I feel like it maybe get really boring unless they want to do like every single call, like you're going to navigate the hero through type of thing. Like you do like a few times in that game. Like, I think that could be cool.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is that I wish that if you have the QTEs turned on, that they were more prevalent in the game. Because you were right. It's like the beginning and end of the game, pretty much.
It's the beginning and end of the game, and it feels like it doesn't matter if you hit them or don't. It just feels like it's here to make you feel like you're doing something, and I'm like, I guess that's fine, but I don't know why even bother, really. Because it feels like I could just sit there and watch it and not hit anything, and the same thing's going to play out, but maybe I'm wrong.
I'd be curious about that, actually.
I don't know. Because, I mean, I missed some, but it never felt like it mattered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah. But, yeah. I can...
But, yeah, Dispatch, I do recommend, along with Justin.
Yeah.
I just, I'm definitely just not as high on it, mainly because I'm not as high on the main cast.
I get it,
which I think is a big problem for me.
I get it. I liked those little knuckleheads a lot. I certain voice acting talent aside, I don't really know much about like Moist Critical. I have no idea who the fuck they are, so that's fine. I thought the game was really funny, and I did actually like the main cast quite a bit, actually. Not to varying degrees. I think you would have loved Phenomenon, because I just loved the idea.
Oh, what I saw of him was great. Yeah. I think when it came down to the choice, I was like, this dude needs a shot.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Phenomenon's whole bit is And I don't know, maybe you got it in the final thing or not. I'm not sure how that works when you do that. But his whole bit is basically like he's Superman, but he doesn't want to get out of bed anymore. So like
absolutely. But he's Superman that also has not integrated into society very well. Yeah. So he, on top of being super depressed, he also doesn't relate to humanity, which is great.
It's super fun. Like, but then like
I think one of my favorite bits in the whole thing is when you're talking to him, and like I think one of the things I got to say to him was, have you talked to a therapist? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
And then I was like, do you feel better now that you've talked it out? Yes. That's therapy. Yeah. And he's like, perhaps I will look into this therapy.
Yeah. One of my favorite bits is like when you put him on your team, he starts to like come around a little bit. And like one of his powers that he gains is he gets antidepressants. So like he becomes a different kind of hero. I was like, that's kind of a fun bit. And then like, there's a meeting towards the end where like everybody's in a room, and like he just shows up and like everybody's real pissed at each other, and then he goes, I arrived at this meeting because I believed we were going to play Magic the Gathering, and and I hope that we still may. I was just like, this guy's great. This is my dude. I love this man. Yeah.
There's some good shit in there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, there really is.
Yeah,
I agree. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. And whatever that studio does next, it'll be
100%
on my radar. If it's not a sequel to this, if it's something else,
I feel like this doing well.
I'm still curious.
They and them having a lot of room to play around in that universe. I feel like you'd probably see a sequel to this before anything else. So, yeah.
And I think it's interesting to me that a team splintered off from Telltale and then very crucially made their own IP.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's really what bit Telltale in the ass at the end, was they didn't own anything.
Sure did. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Stage Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
But yeah, that is Dispatch, available now. But Justin, before we kick things over to you,
Okay, I don't have much, but here we'll do it.
I think it's a excellent time to thank our wonderful patrons.
Okay, let's do that. That sounds good.
As always, we appreciate all of our lovely patrons, but every week we do like to thank the executive producer tier. This week we have Philip PK Becker.
We have Casey Curran.
We have Exrian.
We have Xavier Krager.
We have Stephen Lobo.
We have David Portnov.
We have Bookie.
We have Matt Jorgensen.
We have Dennis Robertson.
We have Raymond Crum.
We have Eric Peacock of the Soundtracker podcast.
We have Big Baker.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits.
We have 60X Selp.
Yep, that's how they put it.
Slow changes.
Strange.
Mhm.
We have Addy XD.
We have Dr. Delicious.
We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40.
And we have Blaine Faya.
Yes, thank you everyone for supporting the show. I was looking today because one of the things that you'll see on Patreon, that I can see on Patreon,
Mhm.
is like the total amount that people have donated to the show.
Mhm.
And there's a bunch of people that it's basically the maximum amount that you could have given us because they got on like the second that the Patreon went live. And it's like, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we love you. It's great. Absolutely.
Justin, I understand that you completed a game as well.
I completed one video game. And it's really the only game that I played other than Cyberpunk to clear my mind of stuff. Because that's my clear my mind game apparently right now. But yeah, no, I finished Dark Deity II. That game is fine. Yeah, it's not bad. So I have a question. So in the final encounter, when you have the turn limit on, that's a lot harder, right? Like, or am I wrong? Or does it turn off for the final encounter?
I think it turned off for that one.
Oh.
Or wait, did it turn off? Or it might have been. I think it just gives you like a really high turn limit because they're aware.
I mean, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah,
because
yes, it's a very high turn limit, but I did get very close to hitting it.
I believe it
because that last boss is a monster.
Oh yeah, they have a lot. Yeah, the thing about it is like I found the way to cheese it, and it just made it really boring and sloggy. Like I was like, oh, this. I guess I'll just do this. Yeah, like I found a few flaws in that game toward the end that I was like, I think some of the powers in that game might be a little too good and they kind of make it really boring to me. For example, I think the little monk kid, Cecil or whatever, the guy in the beginning of the game, Saxon, that's the name. I don't know why I called him Cecil. Sorry. Saxon has an ability. At least my Saxon had an ability to where he could basically become unhittable for 7 hits.
Dude, yeah.
That's too good.
Because so it says the tooltip says 7 hits, but it's actually 7 encounters.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is too good because it costs 100 mana to do it, which is all of your mana, but I upgraded it to where it only costs 70.
Me too.
But by the time it could possibly run out, you can just re-up it.
I would have the mana again and just do it again. And I was like, this character's invincible. What's the point? I could just I sent him in to fight the final boss fucking solo, Julian, just to see. And I was like, yeah, that's too good. You shouldn't be able to do that. That's just too good. Like I barely have to try. The other thing is like because the boss doesn't move and has kind of a limited range. I could just sit outside and with guys and just like alternate who did their attack to him. And I was like, this is just like kind of boring. Like I feel like there's no risk in this at all, because I'm just sitting outside and just here's like bolt him with, or I'm gonna call it bolting because it's Magic the Gathering in my brain. But I was just like, yeah, just bolt him, just hit him with this from outside. Let our mana refill. Bolt him again. Just keep doing it. Okay, we win.
We had very different.
Yeah, I remember
battles.
you describing your final encounter, and I was like, I expected this to be a lot harder.
For me, it was because so my thing was that the reinforcements were constantly encroaching, and so it felt like this like closing circle on me where I was trying to put as much damage into him as I could, but there wasn't like I wasn't doing a lot of damage, and I was also having to like try to heal up people, and then like one of my big things was I turned Arthur into a necromancer, and so basically every turn that I could, I would have him raise a zombie in order to just either basically just like waste like enemy turns type of thing. So it was actually a pretty tense fight for me.
Yeah, my necromancer was Aya, and I used her for a little bit, and I was like, I don't really feel like I need this character that much. Arthur, for me, I think I made him like an elementalist or geomancer or something like that. I don't know, but he had like that's who like was doing. It was him and I think Kamari and maybe one other and the girl that's not very good, but she has the glaive toss. Starts with a V, I think. I can't even remember her name.
Eve? Ava?
No, not her. The other knife user that had a heal randomly.
Oh, Valeria or Valerie or something like that. Yeah.
Something like Valeria, I think was her name. So I would just sit there and glaive toss and then do this giant meteor attack to him, and like that was doing the majority of the damage while Saxon just sat there and couldn't be touched and would just attack him every turn. And I was like, and then because I only needed 3 people to do 3 or 4 people to do the boss fight, I just had everybody else sit on the edge and just like take care of whatever was coming at them. And I was like, this is kind of like boring. It's almost too long.
I think I lost like 3 or 4 people in the course of the fight.
You didn't have a problem with it. I think we played.
You
a lot
are much
differently.
better at these types of games than I am, though.
Yeah,
so there's also that.
And I think we played a lot differently because I think you tried a lot of different characters. I at some point just went, this is my squad and this is who I'm using. There's no point in just adding anybody.
You kind of have to, but I can tell that we had different squads because like I didn't have Kamari in there. And
I changed his job at some point, and I can't remember which one it was, but he had a resurrection power that would just bring people back to life. And I was like, that was another one. I was like, this almost feels too good, because it was like, I think I knocked it down to like 70 mana. And I was like, yeah, so like if anybody dies, I just bring them back. I was like, oh, that's as long as Gwyn doesn't die, I can't lose at this point.
How did I'm curious if this was the same for you, because for probably the entire middle of the game, I would say right up and at least the middle, if not more of it, my Gwyn was basically untouchable and also just completely lethal. Yeah. Where she was taking like, if she did get hit, she was taking 0 damage most of the time, and then 1 to 2 shotting everybody that fought her.
She was basically another Benji in mine. So I just had her on up front, but I had to make sure that she didn't get, blitzed or anything, because that would be bad.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't as defensively good as Benji, but she was fine. I guess in my mind it made sense in the story because that's what her dad's class was, so I just did that. And it worked. It was fine.
I mean, that's what I turned her into as well. But but I don't know I don't know if it was something that I did, or if it might have been like a glitch in my playthrough or something. But it felt busted, and then at a certain point, all of a sudden she started taking actual damage where where I actually did lose because she got killed, and I was like, I didn't know that was possible because she's been taking like 0 damage.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. There was a lot of weird kind of stuff in that game. I don't know. I didn't hate it, but I also like at the end, I was just kind of like going through the motions because I felt like I was like, yeah, I don't feel like I can lose any battle. Like I can march all these guys into certain doom and they'll be fine. And it's not even a big deal. I don't feel like I really have to be that careful most of the time because as long as I don't get my squishy guys in the way, which that's an easy thing to not do most of the time, then I'm going to be fine. Even if I fuck up and make a mistake, I can just resurrect them. It's fine.
Mhm.
Although the rules on that are weird because I think they still go into the next battle with the injury.
Makes sense.
I
Yeah.
encountered one really bad I'm gonna call it a glitch and an oversight. So I had one character who had a ring that every time somebody died, and actually I'll complain about the rings in a little bit. Every time somebody died, they would gain 2 health. So including when they themselves would die, they would gain 2 health. So when they would die, they would just get stuck on the battlefield and you couldn't use them anymore, but the game still counted them as alive. So I would have to end the phase every time. And like everybody ignored them. It was like they weren't there, but they were still there. And it
Right.
also made it to where if they died, I could not resurrect them. And I was like, that's pretty rough. That's just kind of somebody didn't think that through.
Or it's one of those like weird edge scenarios where it just didn't come up during during testing.
Oh, I can totally see it. That's why I called it an oversight.
Yeah, because the the runes on the weapons and the rings that you can create, like that's where you end up really coming up with like the most busted shit.
Yeah, you can for sure. I found some of that stuff really good, and then a lot of it just like I don't really see a scenario where I need any of that. I don't know. I wish the game had a little bit more in the customization realm. I know Fire Emblem's not perfect in that realm either, but like I guess that's kind of if you're trying to set yourself apart, I don't know if it does enough. I found a lot of the ring system kind of, like I said, underwhelming. I would every time I'd get resources, I'd go through every ring and I'd be like, I don't know, I guess this one might be okay on this one character. And like I'd put it together and I'm like, yeah, I guess they're a little better. And then there would be like some that I'm like, yeah, that one's really good. Like the wild range in like good to trash was kind of crazy to me. And I don't know how I really felt about it especially at the end, because I don't know. I expected the game to get really crazy and for me to have to like really think stuff out. And it's at a certain point I was like, I guess I really can just turn my brain off and go through this because I'm just breezing through it. It's not that it's bad. It's completely competent. That's just kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah. Like I said, I really loved it, but I'm more excited for if they get to do Dark Deity 3 because I feel that's going to be, because from what I understand from like reviews and stuff like that, like they really kind of honed a lot of the rough edges off of the first game.
I'm sure.
Down.
Yeah,
and so I feel that like third time might be the charm for them.
It might be. I
definitely liked it more than you, but I also have my fair share of quibbles with it.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing was like I couldn't really get into any of the story, even at the end. They try a thing at the end, and I was like, okay, I guess. More or less, I was just like really glad I didn't use them. I was like, because they were just not. I found them like a very underwhelming character. I found a lot of the characters that you would get like really underwhelming because I don't know. There's so many of them that are like even they're so similar in type. Like, oh, these guys have pets, and I'm like, okay, they get 1 extra attack. All right, and then they get an upgrade that now makes them have another thing that also gives them an extra attack. I was like, that's a little boring. Like the abilities would range. Like the magic characters had like some stuff going on, And then they'd also have like 2 or 3 abilities where I'm like, I don't really see myself ever wasting a turn doing that. Like that just doesn't.
There's some of that, and I think a big part of it has been my complaint since I first started talking about it, which is there's not enough classes. Yeah,
no, there really isn't. And this was I got really deep into thinking about this today. What I would do for a class system, and I keep thinking that, Final Fantasy Tactics had some ideas, and I think the one big thing is like, I think when you do a class or job based system, you should level up just that job. Because that's what Final Fantasy Tactics is like. Oh yeah, you level up this specific job and you get abilities for that job. And that was where the real fun customization in that game came from, was like combining those abilities. I always kind of hate how Fire Emblem and, games of this ilk, there's this real weird tug of war as to like, well, should I turn this guy into the better class yet? His stats might go up, or because if I don't do it, there's one particular character in Awakening that like you're supposed to just let them be a scrub for a really, really long time, and then you upgrade them. And then because their stat growth or something is insane on the other class, so they just have to be shitty for a really long time and then they're good. And I'm like, that's fascinating, but I wish there was a more fun way to do that, or switch them back and forth or something like that, so you could kind of get the best of both worlds. But I think for me, I would like the characters to level up individually of their jobs, and have the jobs add to the stats that they already have, or something like that. So some people would fit better in certain things or something like that. I don't know how the hell I'd do it, but I don't know if Fire Emblem even has figured quite that out. But
I agree.
That's just the genre,
Yeah, it's a different flavor than Tactics or a Final Fantasy job system, but
absolutely it is.
Because Fire Emblem, the first time that I saw that type of progression was actually Vandal Hearts, which now retroactively I realize Vandal Hearts was inspired by Fire Emblem, because at the time we didn't know what Fire Emblem was.
Right, absolutely.
And I do really like it, because I like where where every character inevitably branches, where it's like, okay, now it's decide, what
now
do you want this character to be
make. Right? Yeah.
Do you want them to mount up, or do you want them to be more of just like a wall, but they're not going to move as far each turn, stuff like that. But
I forgot about the horse aspect of Fire Emblem with the movement. I didn't feel like any of the classes really had anything like that in here.
No, they don't.
You know what I mean? That's a little interesting now.
Other than Alden having that really nice teleport ability where he can move other people pretty far away from him before they take their turn.
Right.
But that was about it.
He was one that I it was funny because I kept making fun of it over the course of the story, because he's supposedly this really powerful character, and I was like, I never use him. I don't ever put him in my team. I think he's kind of garbage.
So I got when I first started the game, I was like, oh, this is that character in Fire Emblem where they start off over leveled, so you don't use them.
You don't want the experience sponge, right? Yeah.
And then it turned out that, he's actually one of the main characters, but by that point he was already pretty far behind. Because I hadn't been using him.
Yeah, I did the same thing. And then I was like, I never use him. And then I went back oh, okay, well, he's the same as all these other guys now. Let me try to use him. I was like, I don't really think this teleport ability is that great, honestly. It kind of puts, because I always try to keep everybody together and in kind of a group. So teleporting people way far ahead just is a recipe for disaster a lot of the time in those games. And that's always been my mindset when I play them.
My thing would be, because there would be a lot of times in this game in particular where it would behoove me to kind of break my troops out into 2 groups to kind of take different prongs. But then I would try to divvy it up and have a healer on each one, but then there might be things I need more healing over here, and then that's where I would have him port like
Okay.
the other healer
Yeah,
over to the
yeah.
other side.
That's not a bad idea to do that.
Yeah, that type of
okay.
stuff.
That makes sense. I had enough, like my crew always had like 2 healers in each squad. So like we could kind of rotate around. That was always my strategy. But anyway.
My big thing was like self-healing. Like I would have as many characters with self-heal as they could.
I mean, it's one of the best things you could put on them. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of, and that I love the idea of customizing the abilities. I actually think they should just let you do all 4 things if you want to, because like I think there'd be a fun aspect of that. Like, this thing's just fucking crazy now because you spent the time to do it. I'd be like, that's really fun. But then again, like, I'm over here complaining about like, so some of the abilities are just fucking broken, and they are. Like that. Like I said, Saxon's move that's too good. I was just like, that's actually too good.
But also it's too good if you turned him into that monk class, because and we did the same thing with him, because
the craziest part is after I figured out how insane that thing is, I was like, oh, there's multiple people that can turn into this class too. That's a little too busted. Like, I think you maybe should have thought that. Like, I like the idea of that ability, but maybe tone it down just a touch.
Yeah. If it did work for only 7 actual attacks instead of 7 full combat rounds.
Either 7 actual attacks or like or even just less, like if it was like 3 or 4. Yeah, and like upgrade to 4. I'd be like, yeah, no, that's it's still really good, but like I still have to be a little careful before I can use it again. But like, yeah, I was just like, yeah, that is way too good. But yeah, like, it wasn't a bad game. It's completely competent. That's kind of my assessment of it. I couldn't get into the story to save my life. I think the voice acting for what it is actually like rather impressive. Like, they do a good job. They really do go for it. I think there are just like parts of the story, and I do know I realize it's a sequel, and maybe there's stuff that I should know from the previous game, but like there are bits with characters in that game who seem very important that just completely dead end. And you get no answer to it. Like, there's one character that's like, no, he's really, really powerful, but he doesn't know it yet. And I'm like, okay, well, what's his deal? And then they're like, don't know, never gonna tell you. I was like, that's really weird.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I was saying that the story didn't hook me until like kind of the final act, because I kept expecting it to go in certain directions, and then those directions, and I don't know if it's them seeding a third game, or
maybe,
or if they just kind of didn't kind of like there was like, okay, this is a good starting point, but then we don't know how to put the bow on this story.
They build this one particular. I think we're talking about the same thing. I'm pretty sure we are. They build this one thing to where I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to come into play. Yeah, and then they just kind of like don't give you an answer to it, and then like the ending happened. I was like, okay, they got to tell me what's going on, right? And then they just don't, and I was like, okay, that's weird. Why even mention it then? I don't know. I don't know that I think the story is competent. That's my big word for this game. I'm just, it's competent. It's a video game it's not offensive to play. It's not, Railbreak or anything like that. They did try. They tried very hard, and they did good.
And it is a very small team too, which I appreciate.
Absolutely. I totally acknowledge that. I just think there's some major holes in it in places that I don't really particularly care for. And I overall, I think its biggest problem, especially when it comes to the story and stuff, is just like, yeah, it's just kind of generic. And I there's not much you can do with that. I feel like you need just, I'm not saying the characters are bad. They're fine, a lot of them. I just think the world and kind of just the overall story and stuff is really generic. They do go for it in one particular spot, and I was like, that's kind of okay. And then it just, that was it. And I was like, yeah, I don't really feel very much for this at the very end. But God bless them, it's a competent video game. Good job, Dark Deity II. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. That's like one of those things where I'm like, if somebody was asking me to recommend it, I'd have to think about it. I really would.
Yeah, it's an easy recommend for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I could. It just depends. I'd be like, how much do you really, really want to play a new Fire Emblem? Because honestly, I was thinking about it today, and I asked myself very seriously. I was like, at the end of the day, did I enjoy Fire Emblem Engage more than this? And I have to say, yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah, not even close for me.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm the opposite. I'm like, it's not even close for me. I think Engage's story is really fucking stupid, but I kind of enjoy that about it. Like, I'm just like, yeah, this is stupid as fuck. I don't care. But
I think for me, every time that I think of Engage, I just think of those bullshit like boss encounters.
Yeah, but see, and when I think of this game, I think of the end boss and how boring as fuck it was. So like
for
that's for me. Like I had to think on those. Like I kind of love that trope in Fire Emblem when they set a guy in the battlefield and they go, hey, don't fuck with that guy. And like, I love that. And there was none of that here. Like, I kept waiting for it. Like, I was like, they're going to do it. They're going to put a guy on here and I'm going to go to fight him and he's going to annihilate my ass. And I'm like, oh, don't touch that guy. Don't fuck with him. You can't even get close to him. That's always a fun trope to me. The Lu Bu trope, if you will.
No, that stuff is cool. I'm talking about where it's like, oh, there's like 5 of these monsters that can like annihilate you from like, half a map away, there's really nothing like like suffer as G did until you get close enough to actually do anything. That shit is wild. Wild. But like I kind of enjoyed that tension to some degree, where I a lot of the encounters here I didn't feel that. Like I didn't feel like, I felt like I was going through the really basic motions a lot in the fights. Like I didn't feel super challenged, and I didn't feel, I don't know. It was fine. It's a completely competent video game. It's kind of where I land on it. Yeah. And that's Dark Deity II. Like I said, it just depends for recommend wise, how much do you really want to play a Fire Emblem game right now, like a different Fire Emblem game? If hey, the answer is no, I really want to play that, I think it's a good recommend. But other than that, you can probably skip it and you'd be really fine. That's kind of my idea of it. And I'm sorry I feel that way, Julian. No, it's fine. I mean, it's Xavier's the one who was like, he was like, it's my game of the year so far, but like, for me, it's probably on my list, but it's not one that I'm like, oh, this is one of the best games I've played this year.
I think it might end up on my list just because like this has been such a down year of video games, but like it almost in like the Fire Emblem Engage spot where it's like really, really low. And that's kind of where it is. But like, then again, this year in video games don't even get me started. But yeah,
I actually this week started to kind of really seriously look at what my top 10 is potentially looking like. Do that. Keeping in mind that like I've still got time to play some stuff and whatnot. Especially I've got like 6 days off next week, so that'll be jealous, 5 days. 5 days off. So that'll be nice.
That'll be good.
But it's like the top 5 is like highly contentious,
sure,
and then the bottom 5 is like whatever. Like they could go anywhere in the bottom 5.
I kind of have there's a lot. I've had that feeling with a lot of games where I'm like, this might make my list just by default, but like, and it's such a whatever game, and then I have like a couple up top that I'm like, this will be interesting to see where this all shakes out. But weird year for video games for me. But yeah, God, other than that, man, I've just been doing fucking house buying shit.
Before we get to that, can I just run to the restroom real quick?
By all means, man.
All right,
By
I'll be
all
right
means,
back.
dude. I've now lit a cigarette. I can say the word. You don't have to tell me how to say it. I've now lit a cigarette very dramatically. Let's see, what have I been thinking about other than stuff? I don't know, man. It's not much. Not much. Not much to have been thinking about, you know. You know, I learned this week, and I we'll get into it, but like phone calls are annoying. I don't like phones. I hate them. We should ban them. And maybe not phones in general, but just like, calling. Who wants to do that anymore? What's even the point? You know how much stuff you can just handle in an email nowadays? It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. You can just be like, hey, here's an email. And they'll go, hey, I got the email. I handled more over email this week than I did by phone, and I had to call a lot of places. It was a whole fucking thing. And like a lot of them, especially people that you would think would answer, just go, no, we won't answer it. It's fine. Hi, Julian.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm back.
Good. Yeah. Anyway, home ownership. Get on the bus. It's a bus.
Oh, now you're just taunting the poorer listeners.
No, I'm not. It's I'm it's honestly, man. So it hasn't been that bad. Like, I think the train is for the most part moving along quite well. Home inspections are fucking funny to me. They will never stop being funny to me. If you never had a home inspection before, it's to your benefit, because a man shows up to a place that you're trying to buy, and he goes, here are a list of things that are wrong with this house, and you go, okay, good to know. You don't have to fix them. It's just so you know that they're there. But a lot of it's really funny shit. It's just like stuff that nobody ever does ever. And doesn't care about, like things such as downspouts. Like, these downspouts are too close to the house, and you're like, I don't really care about that, but maybe I'll fix it. I don't know. And then it'll be things like, I don't know, these steps have a crack in it, and you're like, okay, good to know. I guess I'm never gonna touch that. But then, as they're going on through all this stuff, then they'll reveal like the one thing that you're like, oh my God, what is that? And that's what makes them exciting, because you never know when it's coming. And then they'll do that, and they'll explain like, yeah, you might want to get that fixed. And you're like, yeah, you're probably right. That seems like a thing. And then they'll just go back to like, and this garage door isn't really, secured down very well. So, you're going to have to maybe look into that. Like, great. Can we get back to the other thing that you just showed me? Because that was a fucking disaster. It's fun. It's real fun. But then at the end, they go, yeah, no, this is just every house. Don't worry. They all got shit. I was like, okay, cool. That assuages my fears. But then you get to ask people that own the house to pay you more money, because what the fuck was that? And that's even though you're buying it, it's like finding a worm in your apple and being like, you're gonna either have to give me $1 off of this apple, or just give me a whole other apple, and I'm not giving you this apple back. Fuck that. It's the whole thing. Economics. I don't think I'm doing any of that. I also, once things are moving along well, and then my bank, in the middle of, like I said, that's the point we're at. I just did that whole thing. So things are moving, and then my bank was like, hey, you're doing really great, but we need you to do this one thing for us. And I was like, okay, what is it? And they're like, we need you to go on to this website, or one of 3 websites, and back to school for like 2 to 3 hours. And I was like, why? I'm living this right now. Why would I do that? That's a strange time for me to do that. And they're like, no, but do it. So I had to go take this online class. And it took about 2 hours for me. Honestly, I think it almost took me 4 to go through it, because they quiz you along the way, which is hilarious. And it's a bunch of bullshit, because they ask these questions and they'll change like one little word. It's like the most gotcha shit ever.
Oh,
like,
dude, that's how my certification exams were for my current job, where it was a lot of those gotcha type things, and it's like this is bull. You know, like you're just counting on me misreading this one word.
That's it. That so much of it was that. It was just like, because I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's right, and because it'll be like true or false this, and you're like, okay, pretty sure that's true, right? That's what I just read about that. And then it'd be like, no, or it'd be like there was a few times where I was like, that in nowhere in the text that I just read did you give me that information, but okay, fuck off. Or it'd be like some weird scenario. Like, I think the final quiz that I had to get 80% on to pass was just like, there was one thing where it was like, list off all the things, you know, that you have to do if you have to, like, if there's an emergency at your home. And I'm like, okay. So I listed, and like one of them was like worded kind of weird. And I was like, yeah, I guess maybe you would do that. Fucking, I guess I'll click it. This is probably one of those things where I just got to click all of it. And it was like, no, you don't always have to do that, but sometimes you have to do it. I'm like, then why? What? This is just fucking picking it. I don't know. Turns. It's stupid. It was dumb, but I did it. But that was annoying. What a fucking hustle that shit is too. 2 of them were free, right? That's fine. But one of them was like $75. There's 3 options. And I'm like, who is picking the $75 option of this? Like, who is just like, yeah, I would like to pay $75 to do this fucking shit. That was nuts. And also I accidentally clicked the link the first time because it was, you know, weird. And it was like, I kept going. I was like, oh, this wants me to pay. Are they all like that? Am I wrong? And then it was like, oh, also you can add on this other option for like, you know, another $20. And I'm like, what a fucking hustle this is, man. This is wild. So if you're a first time home buyer, get ready. I even asked my real estate, I was like, is this normal that they ask you? Oh yeah, no, they do that. It's a weird thing. Great, cool. So I got that done. And then I had to play telephone tag with insurance people. That was fun because I call an insurance person on my break at work because I was working overtime, so I couldn't really get there in time, so I needed to do it over the telephone. Nobody picks up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So then they call me back while loud things are happening around me, so I can't pick up the phone. They leave a message to call them back. I call them back at my break. They don't answer the phone. And and this happened for 2 days straight. And I'm like, I would tell them I'm going to call you back at this time. And no one would pick up the phone. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Do you want my money or not? God damn it. What a time to be alive. That's been my life. But now I got all that stuff done, and hopefully in a reasonable amount of time. And then that's home buying. It's moving along. And
soon you will be.
Soon hopefully. Yeah, that's hopefully I will. But yeah, it's weird. I got to talk. I went to a funeral today because, you know, tragic events happen where I work, and we went in support of this person. It was nice of us to do. And we felt good doing it, and they seemed to feel better that we were there, so it was good. But like I was talking to like a coworker of mine who's also doing the same thing, and we kind of bonded over it because I'm further ahead than she is, and I was like, just wait, this is what's gonna happen to you, and they're like, oh my god, all right, I'll remember that. I'm like, okay, just remember that, it's the whole thing. But yeah, what a
they will
time
remember
to be
that.
alive.
It's like in Dispatch.
It is like that. Yeah, they will remember it.
Yeah.
Or they won't. Who knows? Let it be a surprise to them. But I man, that fucking quiz. God, I rolled my eyes so hard when I read that fucking email that I traveled back in time. It was fucking stupid. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, and like, as soon as I started taking it, I'm like, this would have been helpful like months ago. Like, why didn't you make me do that then? Like, that would have made sense to me, because then I would have, like, but now I learned all this shit through Fire and Flames, motherfucker. Like, why are we doing this now? But whatever. What, thanks. Who needs them? Guess I do. Anyway, that's all I got. It's been my week. Working overtime and hunting down insurance people, and then having to turn down overtime that and really harshly turn it down because I was like, listen, I got to go to the fucking office. These people won't pick up the goddamn phone. You don't understand. And I need this. So yeah. Anyway, that's been my life. Julian, talk more about video games.
I can talk some more about video
Please
games.
do.
As if you listened to last week's episode, you know that I attempted and failed to install Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
As one does.
And then I got so into Dispatch that I was like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and go all the way through Dispatch before I even attempt to play Black Ops 7 again.
Yeah.
And so when I was done with Dispatch, I went to the Xbox and I went to go fire up Black Ops 7. And I got instantly confused again because when I went to the title screen, all it had was co-op campaign, zombies, and multiplayer. And I was like, those are the things that I specifically said not to install.
Well, no, Julian, no, that's you. That's what you wanted.
I just wanted the single player campaign.
You sure?
Except there is no single player campaign.
Oh, no.
It's only co-op.
Oh, no. Oh, good.
And unlike pretty much every co-op shooter since like Gears of War fucking 2, where you have like a squad with you where basically the other player inhabits one of those characters, and if not, then the CPU takes control of them.
Yeah.
If you want to play Call of Duty Black Ops 7 by yourself and not with like just a squad of randos on the internet, you're by yourself. You will hear the other characters barking at you, but they are not present. It is just you by your lone
seat.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh, I can believe it, but oh god.
So for context, and for anybody who might not have heard me last season or anything, I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan. I don't play them very often. The ones that I've liked the most have been in the Black Ops series.
Yeah.
But Black Ops 6 was one of my favorite games of last year.
Yeah, you did. You liked that one a lot.
Yeah, and it's my favorite first-person shooter single-player experience since the last Wolfenstein game.
Sure, yeah.
I think it's up. You know, it's of the quality of those machine games titles. Just really inventive, really excellent story. They did like some surprisingly innovative stuff with the formula where like there's a couple levels that are actually more open worldy. There's some stealthy levels. There's some stuff that feels more like a Hitman game. Like they were doing some really cool shit in there. And then there's also like a level that reminded me of Control, and they were doing like some cool stuff with like hallucinations and all sort, like just some wild stuff that was really cool.
I really wonder if they put a lot of work into it and then people went, yeah, we don't really care about the campaign because that's the fan base of those games. You know what I mean?
There's a couple things. So when I was looking into it, so one thing is that as I started to play this one, I was like, hold on, this doesn't feel related to Black Ops 6. And then I was like, I was trying to remember the character's name from Black Ops 6, because you play a silent protagonist in 6.
Oh, perfect.
But I thought that now they gave him like a face and a voice, and you were going to get like more insight into him. But no, I was like, wait, but no, Black Ops 6 took place during the 90s, and this is taking place in like 2035.
Okay.
So so then I went back to look at like a synopsis of 6 just to remind me of like what went down. And apparently that one was in development for like 4 years.
Okay.
And I had also heard separately that at some point the Call of Duty studios ended up getting into this schedule where it was like they're doing 2 in a row instead of cycling through the 3 or 4 studios.
Right.
So I think what happened is they had a lot of time to cook on this one, and then not as much time to cook on 7.
Right.
But spoiler alert, I didn't get past the first mission of Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the campaign, and every time that they show stuff, I'm like, yo, that looks rad as shit. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Right.
But my issue ended up being that while Black Ops 6 felt like this breath of fresh air, where it felt like this studio got a chance to really kind of stretch their legs and do some different shit with a series that doesn't need to innovate, because it's going to sell what it's going to sell every year regardless. This one feels like it was designed by a committee of C-suite execs that just buzzworded it to death. So
I would expect no less from that franchise.
Yeah,
at some point,
I can confirm that you cannot pause the game even when you're playing by yourself.
Good.
Why
would you want to pause?
Why would you want to pause? You're always online, and like, look, my Xbox is always online. Like, that's not really a problem for me.
Sure. Yeah.
But the thing that really ultimately turned me off, besides like, oh, if I go down, I'm down, because there's no NPCs to pick me up.
Yeah.
It is just completely riddled with the overall like Call of Duty shit, right? So it's like you're constantly seeing things pop up on the screen like, oh, you just unlocked this gun skin, you just unlocked this camo shit, you just got like this many things towards this perk or whatever for the multiplayer.
Can I ask if they did that in 6? I'm just curious. No. Okay. All right. That makes a lot of sense then, because the reason I say that is again, going toward my theory of previous, where I was like, I bet somehow people just went, yeah, we just don't give a shit about the campaign. And they did that probably market research and went, yeah, people don't really care. So how do we get them to play it? Let's put some stuff that they can unlock for the multiplayer, because that's the mode.
Maybe. I don't recall if there was any buzz around. I mean, I think there might have been a little bit of people being like, oh, the campaign's surprisingly good, but I don't know if, 'cause I definitely got the sense that a lot of people wrote it off as it's just another Call of Duty. And I was like, it's not just another Call of Duty. This is like something special.
It doesn't matter if it's good though, Julian. It matters if people care about it. And
no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And I don't recall if like, I don't recall there being like, and I'm just not in the same circles as Call of Duty people. So I didn't get a sense of that, but like even like when I did hear people talking about it, I don't recall if people were like, oh wow, this is like a really surprisingly good campaign.
Yeah,
but
because mostly people just go to the multiplayer and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do we get them to play these other modes? Let's put
and that's the thing, and I think that's another reason why I was so shocked by Black Ops 6 is that I just expected them, especially after the Microsoft buyout, to just be like, yeah, we're not doing a single player campaign anymore, because this is where people care about. And honestly, like that, and I mentioned this last week because of the issues that I had installing the fucking game.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to have a singular Call of Duty app to like have all the multiplayer stuff together, because they do support the older games over time, and you might want to bounce between different iterations of multiplayer depending on where your friends are at.
Yeah.
But the single player stuff, I think, should be its own thing that's separate from that, so that it's just a very easy thing to mess with. But again, but like you said, like, it doesn't matter, because
I think a lot of the cooler ideas that Call of Duty's had for like their single player stuff have been met with just like, we don't care.
Well, it's weird because some people care a lot, right? So like, I know a lot of people were like really into like soap and price and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
And I've found it interesting that so many people are like, so I saw a video on YouTube yesterday where it said the moment that I decided to uninstall Black Ops 7, and it was them playing the campaign, and it was, I couldn't tell if they were like in a simulation or maybe a hallucination, but it was like them confronting like Menendez, who's like one of the big bads from the whole Black Ops franchise. And it's like this weird thing where he's like dropping these giant like machetes from like the sky and stuff like that, because it's this weird like
it's
altered state type of thing. Yeah. And I'm like, this is fucking cool, man. I don't know what your problem is. And then the other thing that people keep showing is that there's a part where you're fighting one of your teammates, but he's like ginormous, and it's like this big boss fight. Yeah. But like, that's the type of shit that I really liked in 6.
Right. I know.
Was when it got really
that
out
that
there.
Stuff sounds cool. And you have to remember the audience for those games. I don't want to insult Call of Duty people, but a lot of them just want like, no, man, it's got to be real. Like, if it can't really happen, we're not into it. Like, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is fucking cool. Like, the one that's like in space and all that shit. That that campaign is fucking cool. And everybody hated that game. I was like, it's so, but it has all this cool shit. But like, no, man, it's got to be real. This isn't real. I'm like,
because I looked at the comments, because the video was only like 45 seconds or something, and I was like, what are people complaining about? And then it was like, someone was like, what in the Far Cry is this? And it's like, it was like they kept bringing up these other games as insults, like, this looks like Metal Gear, or this looks like Far Cry, or this looks like, it's like, oh, you mean those really cool ass games? Like, it does look like that. You're not wrong.
The audience is boring. That's their audience, you know. Like, you kind of just gotta let them do whatever the hell they want to do.
So that was a major disappointment for me. I was actually really excited for it, based on how much I enjoyed the last game.
Sure, yeah.
But like, I didn't bother. And the shooting still feels really good. Like, it's not, that's not the problem. It's really just like, there's all this other shit in the way of what very well could be a campaign that I would enjoy.
Right, sure.
If I sat down and played all the way through
it. Co-op bit and I guarantee they put that in there because, like, well, people are gonna play with their friends, and so
which is
we
totally
want
fine.
But
I agree. You gotta give someone like
the
some
loner
NPC
something. I can't. I'm shocked they didn't do it. That's really weird. But
or if you can't fill a party of 4, right? Like, so if you're playing with your buddy, but you should then have the computer controlling the other 2 characters, so that you've got the full squad there,
right?
Because it's also really weird to just like hear those characters' voices and they're nowhere.
Nope.
In
the
scene.
That's an odd choice, but here we are.
So I promptly uninstalled that.
It sounds like you were right to do so. So
yeah. And then I picked up Demonschool, which was a game that I had never heard of until they had to get out of the way of Silksong, because they were going to release the day that Silksong was.
I remember that a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like it had been like their release date had been set in stone, and then I guess their publisher was like, no, we're getting out of the way, and I was like, and I put it on my wish list on Steam. I didn't realize it was coming to consoles, but because I was like, oh, that's a cool enough looking game, and also I kind of just want to spite purchase this.
Sure. Yeah.
Because like if they had stuck to their guns, I would have bought it sight unseen just to be like, no, this is way more my jam than Silk Song, and like there should be, just because like it's the same thing with GTA 6, right? Like it's not going to be to everybody's taste.
Sure.
So especially if you're like a niche type thing like Demonschool, which is very much inspired by, I would say, Persona 1 and 2.
That's
like
what it looked like to me. Yeah.
It's more inspired by the first two Personas, like just like conceptually, with like some of the flair and style of 3, 4, and 5.
That's not a bad plan, honestly. Yeah.
It's not. I didn't make it. I made it past the tutorial and then I stopped.
Okay, good. That's a good sign.
But I think you, Justin, apparently there's a demo out. I think that you should try it.
Okay.
Because you're smarter than me for one, but you're also better at grid-based games. Like, so the way the combat system works.
Sure. Okay.
You're on a grid very similar to like a Final Fantasy Tactics or something, but it's a single screen. It's not a massive battlefield.
Sure.
It's very much about positioning.
Okay.
So you start with two characters. One of them, when you move her to attack, she pushes enemies backwards into other enemies to do additional damage.
Got it.
The other character pulls enemy, like she basically transposes her position. So you move her into attack a tile with an enemy on it, and then that enemy moves to the tile like in front of where it was, and she moves to the tile where the enemy was.
Okay.
So it's very much about trying to line enemies up to knock them down. And you're doing this like pre-planning thing, because initially I was like very much turned off, because I was like, oh, there's no battle animation. Like it's just you move your characters almost like a chess piece, and then but that's not what it is. You're basically visualizing the fight before it happens. So you have your characters take all of their moves for the turn. They have like action points, and basically each action that you take uses more AP. So it's like, the first one might only take 2, but then the second one's going to take 3, and then the next one's going to take 5, right? Until you run out. And then once you've made all of your moves for that turn, you like hold down like the confirm button, and then you see the turn play out, and it's like really well animated, really cool and everything.
Cool, yeah.
And so the tutorial, it was like they ran me through like 2 turns, and they're like, okay, now you go.
No, you do it. Yeah.
The way the battles work is that you have a quota of enemies to kill.
Sure.
And then you reach there's like a threshold that you have to like get one of your characters to cross.
Okay.
On the battlefield to end the fight. You get bonuses if you defeat all the enemies within the turn limit. And so for the tutorial fight, right? Should be the easiest fight in the entire game. It's the tutorial. They gave you a turn limit of 3 to get the highest marks. And keep in mind that they walked you through the first 2 turns.
Uh-huh.
It took me 7, Justin.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I was like, oh, I'm too stupid to play this game. I don't understand how this shit's working.
Listen, I don't know if I'm going to be much better. I might have to try a demo of that. That might be.
Well, that's what, and I want you to try the demo. But you kind of displayed it with talking about Dark Deity.
Yeah,
you kind of you're better at like kind of seeing like steps ahead.
That's
in these types of games.
I blame Magic the Gathering. It's all its fault.
Sure.
Yeah. It really is. I play a lot of them like with the mentality of the rules that I learned over playing a lot of that competitively or semi-competitively. I was never that good, but like it has a lot of those kind of like strategy games have a lot of similar rules to it, where it's like a lot of resource management really in the end, and just board states, gotta clear as much stuff off the board as you can. It's a whole thing. But yeah, like it sounds interesting. I know there's been a few grid-based games where I've tried them and I'm like, no, I'm not I don't think I'm smart enough for this. The one that always sticks in my mind, it was a flash in the pan. I don't even. I want to say it was called Other Side or some weird shit. It was like
that was that one that I recommended to you on Nerds Without Pants with like the red and white aesthetic.
Yeah, it had a kind of a cool aesthetic to it, but like it like all the characters almost like looked like Yoko Taro directly inspired somebody to make them for some reason, but they really were trying too hard. I'm not really sure what was going on there.
Yeah. Other Side spelled like homicide, but
yes. I remember that one. I got a certain point in that game. I was like, yeah, I'm not that good at this, and I know it was like a run based thing too. And like I remember getting a certain point, I was like, I don't feel like I have the patience to figure this out, to be honest. So yeah, that was a big no. But like, yeah, there are some that are too smart for you. Like they just it just happens. I'm curious. I might give that a shot. Like I said, the demo sounds very doable. At least could see if it's anything I'd be interested in. So sometimes that aspect of like, no, the combat's really smart actually kind of gets frustrating after a while, because like
if you don't always want to have to be like committing all of your brain power to every single turn.
It also depends on, I felt smart doing that, but like I don't know. I don't know. It's a push and pull, so it can go either way. It really can.
Yeah. Because I also don't know, like, okay, so how often do these fights happen, right?
Right, yeah.
Is it more of a traditional RPG where you're getting into fights like every 5 to 10 steps,
right,
and then it's this?
Yeah.
Or is this more of like an event where it's like story, and then it's like big fight, and then maybe like another fight, and then story.
Because it sounds almost like a puzzly game to some degree. So yeah, it's tough to say.
But it's got a cool art style to it, and it's definitely worth like taking a look at. I think if you look at it, you'll be like kind of immediately intrigued just from like the style of it.
I had it I know exactly the game it is. I've had it wish listed on Steam. And when it came up, I was like, oh right, I remember wish listing this, but I didn't try it yet. So
yeah.
But
that's Demonschool. I don't know if I'm gonna like
I can't
play more of it or not.
Yeah.
We will see. I'm not really quite sure what to do right now. I think Donkey Kong is my next thing to focus on. And I also do want to start chipping away at the new game pluses on Silent Hill.
Yeah, you and me both. I am in this point where I'm like, am I gonna finish another game by the time we do Game of the Year? I don't know. I really don't. the one like, especially because I got all this shit going on, but like, I don't know, the one I keep going, I really should give that like a go is 100 Line. I definitely should.
I would like you to play more of that.
I keep forgetting about it. So
yeah.
And the place I bought it at is on my PC, which is not here. So that's also a thing. So I'm like, well, if I play it, I got to buy it again. I don't know. But yeah, that it has been in the back of my head to play that. But and that's about it, though. That's like the only game of interest that I really have. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I took, I let John Golson borrow my copy of Ghost of Yote simply because I was like, I want to finish some other stuff, and I'm not going to if I have this, but I'm not in the mood for this right now.
Yeah,
so
sure.
You can try this out, because he may or may not join us for Game of the Year. I'm keeping most of the guests under wraps, but since he's not a lock, I don't mind.
It'll be a surprise either way.
Either way, yeah. So, but one of his conditions was, well, I don't know if I've played enough stuff this year. And then I kind of showed him what I had played. He's like, oh, I've actually played more than I thought. And I was like, well, I've also got some stuff that you can borrow if you just want to like take a look at them, just so that you have like, because it's not that you need to have like finished everything. It's more just like, can you speak on this stuff when it comes up?
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty much it. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me for video games.
All right.
John and I went for a twofer at the movies last weekend.
Cool.
We watched Keeper, not to be confused with the disappointing Double Fine game that I talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Bugonia, which are
Keeper.
both very interesting movies that I don't want to talk very much about because you kind of have to see them in order to
Sure.
appreciate them. I think I liked them both a little bit more than John. Keeper is a horror movie where it's got some really interesting shit going on, but ultimately I think it's once its core premise reveals itself to you, and then the credits roll and you think about it for like 5 minutes, you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
That's always a good, yeah.
Ultimately feels a little bit hollow, but really excellent performances by the two lead actors. It's basically like this couple that's been together for a year. They go off to the guy's like his family cabin in the woods for like a romantic weekend, and weird stuff happens.
Sure. Yeah.
And the lead actress is Tatiana Maslany, who played like I know her as She-Hulk from the She-Hulk show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I think she's most known for Orphan Black. She was the main character in Orphan Black.
Okay.
That sci-fi show from I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay. Got you.
But she's like phenomenal in this movie. And then Bugonia is a really fascinating movie where it's about
I just read the premise and I was like, okay, I gotta know more about what the hell that is.
It's this conspiracy theory nut who kind of ropes his special needs cousin into abducting this CEO from basically Amazon.
Yeah.
Because he believes her to be an alien from
As
the Andromeda
one does.
galaxy.
We've all been there.
Yeah. And he feels that he has unraveled their plan to like basically destroy humanity. And he wants to take her hostage to negotiate a new deal. And so it's this really tense thing of like, they have this person prisoner and obviously he's cracked.
Right.
And she's trying to navigate this thing while also staying alive.
Right.
And it's got some shit. It's
believe it. Yeah,
it's
that
a really
neat.
interesting movie. I don't want to say any more than that because it's definitely like I said, you kind of just gotta see it. But the main actor is I never forget.
Hold on. I had it up.
Is
just
it
a second
Plemons?
ago.
Jeremy Plemons?
Oh, oh boy. Oh geez, there's no cast. Why is there no cast? That's annoying.
Because the internet is terrible now.
Yeah,
Justin.
no, there's usually the fucking cast list.
Yeah.
Cast, please, thank you. Oh, Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons.
Plemons.
Yeah.
If you see him, you'll recognize him because he's in a lot of stuff, but he's kind of like a weird actor to begin with, and he's perfect for this role, and he's really great in it. And I did enjoy it, but I think John echoed like one of my complaints, which is that there's like one or two too many like just like tense exchanges between him and Emma Stone's character where it doesn't feel like you're really moving things along as much as like just watch these two actors capital A act at each other.
Okay, yeah.
And it's not that it's not like entertaining, but it's just like, okay, but when all is said and done, did that really like move things forward? And it's like, not really.
Yeah.
But then like the final act is like, holy shit, like that, all of a sudden it just starts popping off.
Oh,
It's
great.
like,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
So
okay.
I do recommend it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They both sound pretty good.
Yeah, I recommend it more than Keeper, but Keeper is also an interesting one to check out.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Movie wise, I didn't really do much, but we watched. I think we finished the Final Destination movies. I don't remember if I finished those last time or this time. That series is real fucking dumb. It's real dumb. I love how one of my favorite bits was I'm just gonna spoil the plot of Final Destination 5, because it's fucking stupid. So Final Destination 5, okay, they're on a bridge and they're on a bus, and you know the bridge obviously goes bye-bye, and they're on the bus, and then you know it's the same setup as all of them. Then the guy goes, "Oh my god, we got to get off the bus, the bridge is gonna fall down," and then so they all get off the bus, right? It has like weird cast too. Like, hold on, I need to pull up the cast. It has like I don't know. It's so weird. Destination 5 cast. I definitely had that up. David Koechner. I'm trying to think. He was like in the Anchorman movies, the bald guy.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah. He's just randomly
he used
there
to be on the Daily Show.
Yeah. It's weird. Tony Todd's in it as always. The rest of the cast, who gives a shit? But I remember seeing him and being like, "That's weird that he's here. I can't believe they got him to do this movie." But he needed money apparently.
Yeah.
They ultimately like go a route where like they just completely made up a rule at some point. Like usually the plot. It seems like the plot of every Final Destination movie is like some new rule that like, what if you try doing this? Maybe death won't come get you. And it's always Tony Todd giving them the idea. And that's funny to me because he just shows up and they're like, who's this mysterious mortician man who just, and I feel like his whole bit is like, secretly he's being like really mysterious, but he's just like testing his theories out on these fucking people. Like he's like, I don't know, maybe, hey, have you tried killing somebody else? Maybe try that. I don't know. So that was the plot of this one. He was like, you should try killing somebody. If you kill somebody, maybe they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, death will just skip you over, because they're like, well, he killed that guy, fuck it, all right, that's fine, I'm satisfied. Turns out it doesn't work. And the spoiler of Final Destination 5 is that it's a prequel to Final Destination 1 in the world's stupidest fucking way, where like it ends with them getting on the plane that crashed in Final Destination 1. That's the big like gotcha moment. And I was like, that was dumb.
Oh man, once again I cannot wait to talk about Fast and Furious with you.
Oh, it was so stupid, man. Like I even looked because I was like, I swear I seen a smartphone in this movie. I swear to God I did. And to their credit, they don't have smartphones, but they do make some like definite timeline mistakes, because you have to remember Final Destination 1 was like 1999. So they wouldn't have had smartphones or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But nobody dresses like they're in 2001. There's no like overt references, but the one thing that they fuck up is that in 1999 LASIK eye surgery was not a thing, and they have a LASIK eye surgery kill in that one. So it's like, you gotcha. But it's stupid. What a dumb fucking franchise. But really funny. What else did I watch? Oh, I for some reason watched the movie Identity from 2003. You ever seen that movie, Julian?
Refresh my memory, because the name is very familiar, but I don't know if I saw it or not.
I don't even remember why. Because I was looking up twist endings because of Final Destination 5. That's why I was like, oh, okay, that you thought that was a twist, and then I like randomly remember. Oh, right, I remember Identity. I haven't seen that in years. Has John Cusack, Amanda Peet. The entire thing is like they're in a Ray Liotta's the other big guy in it.
I don't think that I saw that, because I have not seen very many John Cusack movies.
Yeah, it's Alfred Molina's in it. Anyway, the whole thing is they're in a motel and they're all like trapped because they're like there's this rainstorm outside and like all the roads are fucked up, so they all are in this motel. And then people start to die around them. That's kind of it. Yeah, it's also fun appearance from one Jake Busey. Shasta McNasty's own Jake Busey is in that movie, so that was fun. I remember watching it in 2003 as a sophomore in high school and being like, yeah, that was pretty okay. And as an adult, I was like, yeah, I guess that was okay. So anyway, we watched Identity. It's fine. We watched another movie. I can't remember the name of it. It's how The Uninvited. I didn't really think that one was very good. It was about these girls who were twins, and one of them goes to a mental hospital and comes back, and there was a fire and stuff happens. It's kind of it. I think
I might have seen that one.
Yeah, I can't remember what year it came out. It was fine. It's apparently based on a Korean folktale, and has been made multiple movies in Korea. But this was an American version of it. And again, it was completely fine. Not great, but fine. I started watching the original Ninja Turtles today. That was kind of fun. That's a fun movie still.
Yeah, that one is great.
Yeah,
that one.
Fun.
I think the costuming is fantastic.
Yeah,
and the
really
the fight choreography is just stellar.
It's a fun movie, man.
Yeah. It's got heart. It's also got like some really like surprisingly dark shit in it. Like,
right. Yeah.
Because I was a huge Ninja Turtles fan as a kid, but I only was dimly aware of the original comic book. I was all about the cartoon.
Right.
So I was pretty, because I mean that was what, 1990. So like,
yeah, it was 1990, the movie.
Yeah, so I'm just like this little 10-year-old like going into the movie theater stoked for Ninja Turtles, and then it's like, this is really violent and dark.
Yeah. I mean, it leads off with Raphael just being like, "Damn," and I was like, that was a cuss word when I was a kid. I guess it still is, but maybe not. I don't know.
The part where Michelangelo is ordering the pizza while Splinter is doing the big talk to the rest of the turtles.
Yes.
That was a clip that was shown on, I think, the Today Show like a few weeks before the movie came out, and I got my mom to tape it for me.
Right.
And I watched that scene. It's probably like about a minute of footage, if that.
Uh-huh.
At least 50 times before the movie came out. So
and no anchovies. If you put anchovies on that piece, that's the whole thing.
Michelangelo.
Yeah.
And the clock's ticking, dude.
And the clock's ticking, dude.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. I think that's all I watch. I keep thinking there might... Oh, no, I did watch one more. We watched The Usual Suspects again, which was weird because that guy's in it. And
right.
Yeah. So that aside, I can make my brain turn that off. That's fine. That movie, I don't know. Have you ever seen that movie, Julian?
I've seen it once, and I loved it. But
okay, interesting. Yeah, interesting. No, I feel like just leave it at that. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Once you know the thing, it's not.
It falls apart.
It doesn't really fall apart. It's just kind of boring. Like it's just kind of like yeah, but I know, I know what you're gonna do. You know the trick. It's a great thing when you don't know it.
Right.
But it's not as good when you do. The one interesting bit I found about that movie though, and this cracked me up. So Julian, you were slowly more and more becoming the Roger Ebert of video games to me, where like Roger Ebert fucking hated The Usual Suspects. He fucking hated that movie. And I read his review of it. And it's so funny because it's just so like scathing. Because
that's the thing. Because for listeners who are not at the who are not patrons that have not heard Cinemorons, I often try to get a Roger Ebert quote from his review if there's one available for the movies, and because I find him so fascinating.
Yeah,
because I never know.
You never know
what he's gonna think about a movie. Because like, I think I forget if I said it on here or if it was Cinemorons, but like, I saw a full episode of Siskel and Ebert that was on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they reviewed Batman.
Right.
Oh, it's when we did The Crow.
Yeah.
And I would have expected Siskel to hate that movie and Ebert to love it. And it was the opposite.
Right.
Like Ebert thought it was just kind of like terrible and like unserious and just kind of silly. And I was like, that's a take. I mean, I agree with it, but holy shit.
I almost need to read. I know this is a preview of what Cinemorons is like. Okay, Ebert, Usual Suspects. No, not why. Usual. Thank you. Review, because it's just so insane. Well, like he just kills this. Hold on. Where's like the really truncated version of it, please, if you don't mind. I'm not gonna be able to find it in time. Oh no. Oh jeez. Oh God.
Yeah, because the clock's ticking, dude.
Yeah, I know.
What are you talking about?
I know. Oh boy. Oh God. Okay, I think it's this. I'll just read the opening paragraph. The first time I saw The Usual Suspects was in January at the Sundance Film Festival, and when I began to lose track of the plot, I thought it was maybe because I'd seen too many movies that day. Some of the other members of the audience liked it, and so when I went to see it again in July, I came armed with a notepad and a determination not to let crucial plot points slip by me. Once again, my comprehension began to slip, and finally I wrote down, to the degree that I do understand, I don't care. Oh yeah, that was the bit. Okay, yeah, like it's I was just like, damn, that's wild. But yeah, it's still a fun movie to watch, but like once you know the thing, it doesn't hold up. But we've been on a real like what good plot twist movies recently.
Sure.
I don't know why.
Yeah. What a twist.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, before we get out of here, Justin,
okay,
we do have a few comments, questions, or concerns, or CQC. As always, if you have a comment, question, or concern, there are many ways to get at us. You can you can email us. The email address is thestageselectpod@gmail.com. I'm starting to think nobody likes to email anymore, but that's fine. I get it. I'm kind of in the same boat.
Listen, I love email. It's great. It helps you get in contact with insurance agents that won't pick up the phone.
There you go.
I don't know if you guys knew that, but just learn what their email is and by going to their fucking office and then learning it. God damn it. Anyway.
You can comment on the show posts over on YouTube, Spotify, or Patreon, or you can join our Discord, and there is a channel for comments, questions, or concerns. We're going to start with YouTube.
All right. Oh boy, that's terrifying.
With a comment from episode 80, Damn You McDonald's and Your Branding.
Yeah.
From Skip to Acceptance, who says,
a
variety show with no video. Neat.
Thank you, Skip.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Thank you.
That was less terrifying than I thought it would be, but that's accurate. That's accurate. No.
Yeah. And I did reply to them, and I was like, that's the joke.
Yeah.
But also, it's just like, I mean, YouTube gives you the option to publish your podcasts on there, and
yes, it does.
Since there's no Google Podcasts anymore, it's just like this is one of the formats that it publishes to. So
unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Would I like to do more video content? Yes. Do I have the time? Not really.
Who does?
And then heading over to Patreon.
All right.
Let's see. This is so Xavier Krager, he had a question and a couple comments.
Oh boy.
I'm going to do one of the comments for now.
Okay.
I do appreciate he did a pretty deep dive on more about the different properties related to Vampire the Masquerade. So
right, yes.
That's an interesting thing to look at. Yeah. But this is from episode 81. Sometimes you got to use the cat's bathroom.
Great title.
I'll save his question for another time, but he
Okay.
says, I recently got an office job, which is a whole new experience for me, and the amount of times people tell me to run stuff through Copilot or whatever other AI software they recommend is insane to me. I just typed my year-end review, which was for 3 months, half or which was training, and the only note I received was, don't forget to take advantage of AI software when creating your own review. And he says, I can imagine someone actually working for a company that is creative, having some real pressure put on them to utilize the tools the company wants them to use. Which was, I mean, I really enjoyed the discussion we had about the use of AI art in Black Ops 7.
Right.
I haven't seen anybody kind of take that take
Sure.
or that slant on it. Like, it's just... we're in the situation where it's like the second that they hear it, they just like shut off their brain and they're just like, but it's like, I do think that there's nuance. It's like, don't bring the pitchforks to the people who are being forced to use it. Bring the pitchforks to the people forcing them to use it.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. That's all I'm asking as well. I don't think it's a lot of those poor people's faults. I think there's a reckoning coming with their AI.
There is.
Yeah, I feel like there probably is, because like when my dad is against it, like, like that's, I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. So yeah.
All right. And then heading over to Patreon from Dennis Robertson, he says, so I'm almost crossing the 400-hour mark in Cyberpunk 2077, and it sparked a memory of Julian saying something on the last episode of Nerds Without Pants. Which company would you support in the unavoidable upcoming Corpo Wars? I'm all in for the LG/Samsung conglomerate, but maybe I'm just biased. He lives in South Korea.
That's fair.
Pick your side.
Oh, the upcoming Corpo Wars, man.
Yeah. I have changed quite a bit since Nerds Without Pants.
Sure.
Well, I guess. Well, he said last episode, so I guess I'd already started to change. But I guess I'm more entrenched in some of the beliefs that were starting towards the end of NWP, which is I would now be part of the resistance.
Okay.
I'd be part of the doomed to fail.
You're gonna
cabal trying to stop all corpos.
You're gonna start a band and wear some leather and play loudly in front of buildings.
Yes, I would 100% become the terrorist that Johnny Silverhand is.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, to be fair, he did say pick the corporation. Let's see. Okay, this is the perfect time to unleash my bit of like, I'm pretty sure Elon Musk rebranded Twitter just because in case this happens, he wanted a cool logo for it. And I get
1,000. Well, he's always been obsessed with the letter X.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh no, he has, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, still, he was like, it's got to be all black, you know, like it's, oh man, that way if we go to war with McDonald's or whatever, it's fucking cool. That aside,
man,
what a dipshit.
He might be the most pathetic person that has like any bit of celebrity attached to him.
Yeah,
like it's hard to beat the current president, but man, he sure does it.
He's close. Oh yeah, he's not great. Anyway, God, I don't know if I have a favorite corporation. But who do I'm gonna go on.
I remember back then you were on the Microsoft side, and I feel that might have changed since then.
Yeah. But at the same, okay, I'm just gonna. I like a winner though.
Sure.
And here's the thing, Julian, is like, even though Xbox, not doing super hot right now, Microsoft itself, Julian, powers a lot of shit. And if they start just deciding like, no, y'all figure it out, Windows is not okay for you to use anymore, a lot of companies are gonna go,
that's true.
So
they can just pull the plug on a lot of their competition.
They can just be like, like, you guys can't use it anymore, fuck you, this is ours. Or pay us more money to use it, bitches, and just get a lot of Microsoft.
They're like, do you want to try to learn how to use Linux? No, you don't.
No, you don't. I've tried. It's terrible. I'll say that out loud. It's not my favorite thing. God, I'll never forget that. I had if anybody out there has that like really smart computer friend that just insists on you using Linux, like it's easy, man. It does everything Windows does. It's so much better. And then you try it for like a week and you're like, this is the most miserable experience ever. Like, I just want to play a video and I can't figure out what the fuck plays a video on here. It's like, no. You just put it in, just enter the commands, dude. No, fuck you. Can I just click a thing? Well, that's what you get in Ubuntu. It's like, oh my God, just fuck off. Just fuck off. This is terrible. You can emulate Windows. No, who wants, this is too many steps. This is too many steps.
It's the same friend who unironically likes to like type something into their computer and then say, I'm in.
Yeah, he was a nice guy, but like, oh my God, I will never forget. Cause I caught one of my old laptops caught a virus, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna, install both for you. That way you can just go back and forth if you want. And then for whatever reason, he was like, well, I don't have the time right now, so you're just going to have to learn Linux. And I was like, he's like, oh, but trust me, you'll love it. It's great. And I'm like, a weekend, I was just like, this is miserable. This sucks. I used it for years. I did figure enough of it out, but when I went back to Windows, I was like, this is a breath of fresh air. This is so nice. So yeah, I back a winner, Julian. I'm still gonna go Microsoft because, like, man, that ability to turn everybody else off is quite powerful. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, look, I turn people off like everywhere that I go. So no, yeah, I know.
There's also like it's possible that like certain hardware companies. There's one I learned through a Reddit video that I watched. It was like there's like one company that makes like microchips, and the way they make them is so insane, and they're the only people that like have access to like the technology and shit like that. It was nuts. It's like they just like drop like liquid tin and then shoot this laser that's hotter than the surface of the sun at it, and it carves these fucking really like minute pattern, like inconceivable patterns in the fucking tin. And I was like, that's so wild to me. Maybe them too, because like, what if you don't have microchips anymore? What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, that's like this. That's the real weird. There's like so many things where it's like billionaires and or corporations that you're not even aware of.
Yeah.
That are actually like way more powerful than the shit that you see in the headlines every day.
They're just really quiet. That's the thing, right? Yeah. That's the thing. You know about the loud ones, but like it's those quiet guys over there that actually are supplying all these other things. So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Casey says, hypothetical. Blizzard treats the Diablo formula the same way Koei Tecmo treats the Muso formula.
Okay.
Which franchise would you want to see get a spin-off with that formula? Can be outside of gaming. So what would you like to see turned into like a Diablo style game?
Oh, that's kind of
I think there's a bad one for you because you're not even like really into that style to begin with.
Diablo, yeah, like the looters thing. It's okay. It had like I loved the original Diablo. That's tough. What would you say? I feel like you have an answer.
This is going to sound really weird, especially to Casey.
Sure.
But I would like to see Legend of Zelda in that style.
Interesting. That is interesting.
Because like Diablo is one of those things where I'm kind of not there for the story.
Sure. Yeah.
But I like the world of Zelda and I like the enemies of Zelda. And
yeah,
I think it'd be cool. I've been wanting this for ages. I would love to see Link actually put something on that's different from a different colored tunic.
Right.
And I think it'd be cool to see him. I mean, you got to see him wield different weapons in the last 2 games, right?
Yeah.
But let's kind of like take that further and then give him like some magic weapons as well.
Yeah.
Like you could do some really cool shit there, and then maybe if you want to do multiplayer, then you also get Zelda in there as a playable character with like a totally different set of abilities. Like I think that would actually be pretty rad.
That's not too bad. Yeah. I feel like you want something that has like different classes and stuff to play through as. And I'm trying to think of something that has something like that. I mean, Cyberpunk could be really fun for something like that. I mean, The Witcher is almost practically Diablo already. But
what's that?
I said Witcher is almost practically Diablo already. I mean, it's not, but like it would fit. Like I could see it. But like just the different classes in like Cyberpunk, like getting like thinking of like the abilities and like, you know, it's hacking is magic in Cyberpunk universe, you know what I mean? Like you going and finding like cybernetic implants and stuff like that could be like really cool, and then going back to like a certain Ripper dock and doing all this stuff, walking around the city in the isometric view, it could work. So
I mean, because that's not that far removed from Two Human, which is a game in that genre that I actually really love,
right?
Flaws and all.
Yeah.
So, no, I could totally see that.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go for. That was my first thought. Was Cyberpunk actually would work really well.
Yeah.
You almost need something with like an RPG aspect. Although the add-on of an RPG aspect is kind of an interesting thought too. Sometimes in that respect. So, you know.
Yeah. Because I think that's the other thing with my Zelda thing is that like I've been dying for that series to get deeper with RPG mechanics. And I mean actual RPG mechanics, not like we're just gonna shoehorn like leveling into it, but not with any actual tangible benefit to doing so. I mean like you know, one of the things about so I don't have experience with Diablo 1 or 2. And I love 3, but I know that one of the things that 3 broke with from those older games that I appreciated in Champions of Norath on the PS2 was having a skill tree where you actually have to make decisions, where you can't just get everything on the tree, where it's like these branches, it's like, okay, where are you going here? Because you can't get all of this. Yeah. So start to think about what your character, what you want your character to actually do.
Plot this out. Yeah. I always like that aspect. So yeah.
And then last but not least, I think this is the first one from friend of the show, John Golson, but he says related. One has to go. Blizzard, the video game company. Blizzard, the ice cream confection from Dairy Queen. Okay. What goes away forever? What stays?
That's easy. Blizzard, the video game company, can go. I don't really care about their video games. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Especially, I guess the question is, did they used to exist and now they go away?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then I can still play Diablo 3,
right?
Which is the only one that I give a shit about.
Yeah.
And I'm good, but I sometimes I just need a Blizzard,
right?
So that's the one that has to stay.
The thing about it is, and this is interesting, right? Is like, okay, does that mean that so the Blizzard goes away, but like, does that make it to where nobody can make the flurry? You know, the dark, you know, sister brother of the Blizzard that everybody uses that isn't a Dairy Queen.
No, I think because a lot of like you're gonna get to a Blizzard with ice cream,
right?
Eventually, right?
Sure.
It's not wholly a Dairy Queen
like
thing.
It's just like it's a simple thing. It's just like, what if we put candy in the ice cream? That you're a fucking genius, you know.
But you know you're not gonna get a McFlurry at McDonald's because the machines never work, Justin.
I know.
I don't even bother attempting to order those anymore.
I'm not even talking about the McFlurry, Julian. I'm talking about the local random ice cream shop down the street that has those, because somebody's going to do that. Of course they're going to do that. Now, you could easily say the same for Blizzard games, though, because eventually somebody would probably come along and be like, oh yeah, what if we made like an RTS that was like in this realm and did stuff? Like, I feel like some of those games would still happen to some degree. Somebody would have that idea.
But he doesn't specify, like, I'm assuming that the past is still the past, so it's just that, like, tomorrow Blizzard, the company, goes away. I'm totally
and that's
fine with
fine.
that. Like,
yeah, fuck them. I don't care.
If anything, it seems like that company's best years are behind them, and it seems like those best years were actually pretty shitty to the people working there.
Yeah.
So I'm totally fine. We'll just wipe it off the board.
Just let's get rid of it. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Ice cream rules the day again.
Yes.
Yep. As it should.
As it should.
Yep.
I think that's a show, Justin.
That's a show, Julian. I think so. I strongly believe it.
Man, I really thought it was going to be half this length, but here we are.
Yeah, it's us. What are we going to do?
It's us.
Yeah.
Well, even if we don't have like any topics ready, somehow
I'll just
somehow we'll hit nearly 3 hours.
Somehow we'll do it. I don't know how we do it.
All right, but yeah. Thank you for listening to this edition of the Stage Select. Thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to friend of the show, John Golston, for being our announcer and providing us with our logo and artwork. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. We've been the Stage Select. Signing off.
Uh-huh.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.